Hey, SBG solution-based gang, like, share, subscribe. Say no to rim, brothers, mothers, fear and sell no good suckers. Hype him up, hype him up. Shouts out, showroom, Bracy in the wildest. Wake up morning, show salute, big dog, shout out to the lure. PH, Diva, salute, Brownsville, SBG solution-based gang.
Let's go. Good day, everyone. How are we doing today on a TDS Tuesday? That's right. Let's go. Good day, Miss J. How you doing, beautiful? What up, T-Dub? I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm highly confused. I don't know what's going on in this climate that we're in. I need some help. I'm gonna do something different. I usually just start off with a straight up monologue, but today I am highly confused about what's going on today. I'm confused, Maya Reed. What is going on with the TSA? What is going on with TDS? What is going on in the Strait of Hormuz? Somebody please explain to me what is going on. I need some help. I ain't ashamed to say it. I need some help. I need somebody to come and help me out and get me some straightening. What up, Tiff? What up, Tickle My Fancy? What up, Maya Reed? I need some help. Who's going to come up here and help me today? That's what I want to know. I need to understand because I'm all of confusion. Can somebody please help me out? How's this thing working out here? How are we supposed to be moving out here? Are people afraid to travel? Or should we be all afraid of traveling at this point? Do you have any family members that is a part of TSA? Should they go to work? Should they not go to work? Last time they got paid. Last time I believe they got paid $10,000. The ones that stayed down and stayed true and stayed through it, through the thick and thin, they came through and they got like 10 bands from it for just staying true to the cause. Shiesty bum, what is it that we're supposed to do? What happened in LaGuardia? How did something like this happen? Can somebody please explain this to me? Because I seen the audio, I seen the footage. It looks wild. Airplane is going off for takeoff, probably doing about 150 miles an hour, while the goddamn fire truck is coming down the line. The man that is in the air traffic control, he's saying, "Hey, you need to stop." What's up, Bomb? What's up, Reese Cup? So what is going on? And this airplane going 100 miles an hour at least. This goddamn fire truck coming about like maybe 50 miles an hour at least. How does this happen? 2 air pilots in tragedy. They fatally passed away. It was a fatal accident. About 70 people injured in LaGuardia. It was wild out here. What is going on? We got meteorites just hitting goddamn planet Earth out of the I'm afraid that one of the meteors is going to open up and then some goddamn alien robot is going to start walking around just shooting things. What up, Teal? We got meteorites hitting. What is this? We got transformers blowing up all over America. We got a heat wave in Phoenix. Cars is melting in the street. It's complete chaos. Gas is what? I think to get gas, you got to draw blood at the goddamn pump. I went to the gas station. They said, here. They told me to take a needle. They said, yeah, I had to pump out some goddamn blood to get some goddamn gas. What is going on, Tiff? I'm lucky I still got my arm and a leg. God damn it. $6 is crazy. I need somebody to help me understand. Let me go find some information so I can understand what's going on. Let me see. Maybe the internet can help me understand, because I don't get it. Because I thought I understood. People was telling me that I was wrong, and I got TDS. That's what they told me, Uncle Jeff. They told me I got TDS. I was like, TDS, that's what I got? Oh, hold on. You know what? Iran, you know what? Let's do this. I see Iran has posted something to tell us what is going on. Hold on. Let me see if Iran, let's see. Iran put some information out. Let's see. Let's see what is going on. Let's go to Bubba, I do not. I need you to come up and explain this to me. What is this? All right, this they saying they're explaining why gas prices are so where they are. All right, so let's see what this said. Maybe this is going to explain it. Hopefully, it ain't saying. Let me see what Uncle Jeff talking about. Let me see what Uncle Jeff talking about. Uncle Jeff says, as Americans, with a question mark. We are spoiled. Gas has always been higher overseas than here. Our dollar has shrunk to almost no power on the global scale compared to what it was. Damn. But Uncle Jeff, Uncle Jeff, I had to draw blood to get gas. That's crazy. I don't want to live like, I don't want to do this anymore. Oh, that's dramatic. Okay. What is this? Iran is trolling Donald Trump? What is this? Is Iran trolling us? Is Iran trolling us? This is how they respond to us? This is crazy to me. Are they trying to say, what them using this cartoon? Are they trying to say Donald Trump? This is what they sent to Donald Trump. They saying this is a message to Donald Trump. Are they saying that Donald Trump is so slow that they got to do it in color book form with pictures? What? This is crazy. Hold on. This is wild. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. They are trolling. Oh, damn. This is one wild. This is wild. Ain't no way. The fate. Oh, man. They easing back up. All right, we got it. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Back your ass up like a U-Haul truck. Oh, hell, they let China oil go? Oh, nah, they letting China oil go through. Yo, MJ, this shit is wild. This is wild. No, we can't. God, oil prices even higher. Oh, man. Wow. That is insane. That is insane. That was wild. Oh my God. What is going on today in this world? Can somebody please help me out, MJ? Wow. That was wild. That they did a whole coloring book version. Iran did a coloring book version of what is going on in the Strait of Hormuz. The disrespect is wild. That is just insanity. Maybe I need Uncle Jeff to hit the panel so he can explain to me what we just watched in that cartoon. Maybe I need Bomb Cherry to come up here and tell me what did I just witness in this cartoon? What in the world? Welcome to the show, the beautiful Bomb Cherry Juice. What did I just witness?
Oh my God. Sharon, they made a little clip for him. They figured he don't understand. Let's make this little video for him. And that shit is funny. That is crazy.
That was crazy. Like the level of trolling they just did is insane.
And they doing exactly that though, right? They have stopped certain ships from going through, and they're letting some go through. And for some reason, the MAGA people think that what his name? Putin. They think Putin is for America, but Putin is over there helping the Iranians.
Chicago really said we cooked. Detroit Coalition. Maybe Detroit Coalition come here and explain to me without him cursing me out. Because you know, every time I have a conversation, he start cursing me out. But man, it's getting wild like that. That whole, and they talking about also is that Donald Trump recently said that he is speaking with people and they are coming close to a deal. You know, he has the art of making the deal. You know, if anybody can make a deal, Donald Trump can.
Are you frozen or is it me?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on my internet. We got the fastest, but I gotta check. Okay. It is a little strange on my side of town, so it's been a lot of weird stuff going on, Bomb. So I do see I look like I'm moving a little like a robot.
Okay, you look good now. You with the fireplace going in the background. You got to stop it.
Hold on.
About to be a situation.
Shout out to the real Prism with the $20. Says good day, Strong. Good day to you, Prism. Everyone knows who served that the Strait of Hormuz houses connections to Asia, Europe, and Africa. It's more than oil. Peace, chat, queens and kings and trolls. Shout out to them.
Prism. Good day to everybody in chat, by the way. Hello, everybody.
So but hopefully, you know, Donald Trump said he got some deal going on. Let's see what he's talking about. I don't know. Maybe it's something that we don't know. I found something. Let's see. He takes questions. Let's see what he's talking about.
So tomorrow morning, sometime their time, we were expected to blow up their largest electric generating plants that cost over $10 billion to build. It's a very good one. There was no dearth of money. And one shot, it's gone. It collapses. Why would they want that? So they called. I didn't call. They called. They want to make a deal. And we are very willing to make a deal. It's got to be a good deal. And it's got to be no more wars, no more nuclear weapons, They're not going to have nuclear weapons anymore. They're agreeing to that. Any of that stuff, there's no deal. So tomorrow morning sometime, they're
So do we actually believe that he was up late at night conducting some phone calls and some deals? That's the question.
Yeah, we know that he lying because while he was claiming it was in deals, Iranian was shooting bombs. They was while he was claiming they were, so people either saying he lied or they tricked him. They trolled him.
I wonder what Donald Trump supporters that's claiming that I have TDS is supporting that he spoke to anybody from that side. And what it seems like maybe he spoke to a religious leader over there, but he ain't talked to the leader over there. And which, regardless if he did, whoever he did speak to, and the fact that the government itself is saying, no, we didn't speak to you, that is a problem.
Right.
Because either they blew up all communications over there, so they just not getting any kind of understanding what's going on, or the people that you are speaking to don't actually have power to speak to the proper people to make this and broker this so-called deal. This is scary.
They deleted a lot of them leaders who used to have contact with him. So they're not talking to him. In fact, that little video that you just showed is telling us as American people that if we get rid of Trump, then our gas prices will go down. The oil will go down. Isn't that what they said in the very end of that video?
That video was wild as hell. Welcome to the show. Man, that video was crazy. Good day, Supreme Vaginal PhD. But how you doing?
Wonderful. What's good, y'all?
Why you laugh? What happened?
I'm just laughing at the Supreme Vaginal. Now, what happened? I woke up this morning and saw something about a plane in LaGuardia. It crashed into what?
Yeah, in TSA. So in LaGuardia Airport, airplane was taken off. And also emergency vehicles was going to another situation at the airport. And so with the air traffic control, he slipped up or somebody wasn't listening to him. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but they cleared the airplane to take off. They cleared the emergency team to go and take out the fire or whatever was going on. And 100 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, straight up crash. The pilot and the co-pilot has passed away, and about 73 people are injured in the hospital right now.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. And LaGuardia is pretty much a brand new airport at this point, too. So it's like it's no excuse for it at all. They've been renovating this place probably for the past 10 years. It looks beautiful. But air traffic control, I wonder there was some DEI hires. I don't know. But the what the hell is going on? And then also now TSA agents they also quitting all over the place.
They haven't been getting paid, right?
Right.
None of them.
They should have been quit.
I mean, the last time when it happened, though, they got paid an extra 10 bands for staying true to the game. Like how the black man say, how the black woman, you guys got to stay patient.
Did everybody get that? Or I thought they picked some people to give that bonus to. Was it a bonus for everybody?
Only ones that stayed down.
Okay, so the ones who came to work while they weren't getting paid, all of them got the $10,000.
Supposedly, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how true it is, though. Go ahead, Bob. I interrupted you. Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, I forgot. I don't think it was important. I was saying a lot of them did quit. Yeah.
Yeah, so the lines now to hop on an airplane right now, you need to be even locally 4 hours ahead.
Yeah, they done sent what was the name? Oh, the ICE people. But I saw they was in the putting people in the headlock in San Francisco. I think it was.
Where you going?
Yeah, rolling on the floor with people. I was just like, is that what y'all
I said, where you going?
But the thing is, like, they're in there for the domestic flights.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess people, I mean, it's anybody. Well, you know what? I did just see a video of a woman who they snatched her up in the airport. She was trying to hop on the flight with no valid driver's license. But the thing is, that wasn't the first time she had done that. So they had been letting her go with that fake driver's license for years.
Yeah, it's a weird time. I'm not sure. We got Iran trolling the president with a coloring book. That was crazy just now. That was just crazy. We got LaGuardia planes crashing. We got ICE agents patrolling, I guess, the airport because they're not really doing bag checking, nothing like that. They just there, seems like. Maybe they're trying to deter people from flying that might possibly, you know what I'm saying, that's a little afraid of ICE. I guess maybe to make the lines a little shorter. But people pay their ticket, they're going to go for it. And also, this is the time where the most, since the Great Depression, since people have been leaving America. That's interesting, too. Welcome to the show, A Random Independent. Good day. Maybe you could give me some straightening about what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz.
Hey, good morning. Not at this moment. But I did see a bunch of reports saying that from not just from US reports, but there was intermediary or whatever talks. There was talks with the intermediary. Not necessarily direct talks between the US and Iran's leadership, but between a third party. But
now they want to talk.
Supposedly.
Which ones?
America, he went in there trying to slap people around. Now you want to talk?
Well, he did kind of slap people around, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know.
He wanted to be a bully. Now he crying, help me.
Right.
Hey, Ari, by the way.
So good morning. What I was gonna say, the TSA thing. From what I saw, there's something about like them alleviating TSA personnel from like smaller tasks so that the ones that are trained can go do like checkpoints and all that good stuff. So
also they really there to relieve the other TSA agents for doing the BS work, and they could just go straight to back checking, so they could just stand around.
That's why I've seen, but we'll see how it actually plays out, and all that. And for the LaGuardia thing, I don't know if you've heard the ATC audio. It's pretty sad though. The air traffic controller lets the truck one go over for runway 4 or whatever, and then like I don't know, like 3 or so seconds later, he realizes his mistake and it's like stop, and but it's too late at that point. So sad stuff.
It's like a straight up conspiracy theory to get somebody up out there. Who was on that plane? It probably was some goddamn doctor, maybe an alien. I don't know.
I think our ATC personnel are just completely understaffed and overworked, and I think we're seeing that play out.
It's a scary time. I don't know what the hell's going on with America right now. Do we all need to be concerned that things is not moving the way how it move? We got goddamn meteorites hitting Ohio. Like, what is that?
There was another one that hit Michigan today, I heard, or yesterday or something. But who cares about Michigan?
I know. We should talk about the HIV epidemic.
Don't even try it. That shit. Pull up an article. I want to see this shit.
What HIV epidemic?
He making shit up, man.
He's
trying to keep people away from North Carolina because he's thinking about moving here. That's all it is. He's trying to keep the prices low.
North Carolina looking like Houston, diva. That's all I heard. People just walking around with bumps all over the place. They got bumpy hands, bumpy faces. God damn. What in the world is happening out here? I don't know. That was a tragedy with the LaGuardia thing, though, especially because, the pilot and the co-pilot lost their lives. And, about 73 people also is pretty injured bad. I mean, I don't know. I was hoping that some people that is a part of this whole, they have some understanding, would hit the link and explain to me, but clearly they don't know, just like I don't know. And then who seen the thing when Donald Trump was talking with the Prime Minister of Japan?
Oh, Pearl Harbor comment.
That is just insane to me.
What he said?
You want to hear it?
Why?
Yeah.
I'll play it. Let me find it. Let me see if I can find it. I think this is where. Let me see. I found one. That was straight up crazy as well. Let me see. I think this one. Let me see.
Of course, no, Japan and US are very good friends. But one question, why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much, you know. When
Goddamn.
we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay.
Oh, hell
Why didn't
no.
you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
Oh, hell no. Oh, look at her face.
Right? You know, he's asking me.
Hold on. Let me see her face.
Okay, it's in Japan. Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay, right?
Damn.
Surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay, right?
Yes.
He's stupid.
He's asking me. No, you believe in surprise, I think much more so than us. And we had to surprise him, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out, the first 2 days, we probably knocked out 50% of what we,
Ooh,
and
she
much
pissed.
more than we anticipated doing. So if I go and tell everybody about it, there's no longer a surprise, right?
Oh, she
But
pissed.
he do talk a lot, right? Didn't he just in a video you played before where he was out there talking about how he could blow up this? You know, he telling the strategy what it might be.
As they should be. I'm sorry. Somebody in the chat said Japanese people are pissed off at her, as they should be. She sat her ass up there and let him say that and just sat there looking crazy.
Looking crazy ass Diva. Hold on. Diva, you send your ass up there. You know what Japan did in Pearl Harbor. You Japanese with your slanted eyes. What are you?
Yeah, she should have said something, gave a little pushback or
You know,
something.
with a little bit better tan, you know what I'm saying? But what do you say at that moment? What you thinking?
What do I say at that moment? I don't really know what he was talking about with like surprising them or whatever, but you got to say something. You can't just sit there looking crazy.
What you mean you don't understand the surprise part?
What was he talking about? That they snuck up on him and dropped the bomb on him or something?
Yeah, because
Is that what
so the one of the reporters asked Donald Trump why you didn't tell your allies that you was going to bomb Iran.
Mhm.
And then, so he said we want to do the element of surprise, you know, like Japan, they know about surprises, how they surprise us at Pearl Harbor.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's what he was saying. Japan surprised
Us.
Okay.
Yeah.
At Pearl Harbor. Okay.
He made light of it. It is kind of a funny joke, but I just think you shouldn't say that joke in front of the camera. So
she
now
had something to say. Like, you don't just sit there looking uncomfortable. And that's the problem with all of these other, you know, quote unquote POCs, right? Most of them come from very assimilationist cultures. And so you can do that in front of them and they just gonna sit there and look crazy and smile and, you know, but it's unhelpful, right?
So you're saying she should have had a ninja with her?
She ain't had to have no ninja with her.
Not talking about, you know, because Japan's known for ninjas, not the not a ninja. I mean, like a real,
but just she should have had a some
rebuttal?
other type of response than just to sit there looking crazy.
yeah, but it also could have been the language barrier. I'm not sure how her English is and how sharp she is with her
She should have
English.
said it in Japanese.
Damn, because she definitely understood what he said. That's for sure.
Right, you could tell she
like
understood
somebody-
what was going on.
It looked like she was looking to the side and somebody was translating. What you
Mhm.
think? If you
It
look
was
at
weird.
it again, you'll
That
see.
was crazy though.
Yeah, she still should say something. Captain Caveman Mike 3000 $2. She's surrounded by SS.
What's SS?
The only SS I know was
Secret
those
Service.
Secret Service.
Oh,
Secret
okay.
Service. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
What does that have to do with anything?
yeah, it
They
don't
was-
have anything to do with anything. You can talk to the president and the Secret Service
Right.
not shoot you. Like,
And she could also slap the president too. Like, so what?
all right, you're not slapping the president. You're tripping.
Yeah, perfect. She had perfect time. She could have come right in his ass real quick.
She got clearance. She could have smacked him.
And all they would have did was put her on a flight back home. She's an ally.
Man, no, it don't work like that.
Welcome into the show. Hopefully, I don't get cursed out. Detroit Coalition.
Good morning, people.
Good day to you, sir.
morning.
How you feeling?
Good day.
What's up,
Am I
man? You
getting
moved
cursed
out of
out?
What's
Michigan?
up, though? Or
If I were king
Trump
of
could have
the
shut the fuck up. Or Trump could have
I'm
shut
the
the
only
fuck
one who's
up.
seen the whiz. I'm the
He
only
gonna
one
get
who's
this
seen the
one out.
whiz.
Yep, the only one.
The cowardly lion.
Oh, damn.
Morning.
Oh,
that's
Morning.
crazy.
Is this coming from the wizard behind the behind that curtain?
Oh,
Y'all
Maybe it's
slow.
coming from the wizard. Maybe the wizard behind the curtain is the one that's calling me. Is that what you're trying to do? Call me the cowardly lion?
That's what.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I ain't
what it
just the
sound like.
wizard
That's what it
standing
sounds
behind
like
the
to me.
curtain. I'm on Front Street all
Okay,
day, every day.
Wiz.
I can't
I
be the
got you.
wizard standing behind
That's
the curtain.
cool.
I don't hide
That's
nothing.
cool. Right.
God damn.
But so anyway, I heard my name
Oh,
come
that's
up,
it.
and I ain't bring
Move
nobody up
on.
No,
this morning.
Who? Wait, say your name.
Hey, Diva, this is
No,
why people
Sharon
go. Hey,
caught me up.
Hey, Diva, this is why people go around the other channel and say we got a hostile channel.
Who said that?
What? We're the friendliest bunch on the internet.
That's what I say.
They blame
Oh, y'all definitely
Diva.
didn't get that shit from me.
Yeah, but they
That's
blame-
for sure.
Look, they blame Diva for being hostile. They blame me for sewing on camera. It just they blame us as the women. They say, yeah, Sharon got a hold. They were like, yeah, you got your woman over there and she's sewing on your live.
I would think they would like that. No?
I know. But
Go ahead. Well, so what's up, Detroit? What's on your mind? What's your thoughts? What did I get right, wrong, or please educate me?
No, I mean, honestly, like I said, I put a comment in the chat and you said, hopefully you come up. I wasn't going to come up this morning, but, I don't want to seem like I'm not coming up either, if that makes sense. So, no, I mean, none of this shit makes sense, right? You got a government shutdown, basically. TSA agents are leaving, right? You got accidents that are happening. There was a plane crash in Michigan today,
What?
but don't worry. ICE is on its way.
In
ICE is
Michigan,
on
what
its way
happened,
to the
what happened in
airport.
Michigan with a plane? What happened with the plane in Michigan?
I haven't looked that up yet, but I just saw it looked like it was something that was a plane that was coming from Wisconsin to Michigan. So it was like in Michigan, but it was on its way from Wisconsin. I haven't heard it's something that happened this morning. I haven't turned on the news this morning locally here, but I just started to look up when AR brought it up.
I don't see any. I didn't bring up a plane in Michigan. I said a meteor, but I don't see anything about a
You
plane.
said meteor in Michigan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Meteors been hitting America a little crazy. I think that they're gonna turn into some robots, flesh eating robots, but I don't know.
and the Republicans refuse to go to work.
The Republicans?
Yeah, they refuse to go to work in Congress. Yeah,
What you mean they refuse to go to work?
they won't let these votes go through because Trump says people don't care about housing, people don't care about health care, and so Mike Johnson is telling everybody go home. That's why the government shut down, because they won't put things through so these people could get paid.
Damn. Detroit, why the Republicans don't want to go to work?
I have no idea. I would imagine more than likely is, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on nothing. I don't know.
What do you think should happen, Detroit?
Let me also welcome into this show Uncle Jeff. Maybe he could give me some straightening. What is going on, Uncle Jeff? Straighten me out. What I got right, what I got wrong, or educate me, please.
Hey, Doc. Peace to the chat. First off, second, those of you who those of you who love and worship the Most High, pray and start now. Remember yesterday. A matter of fact, I'm gonna have to clip that when I said we up here talking about this bullshit right here with the Strait of Hormuz, and you boldly said yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look at the Strait of Hormuz on a map.
Mm-hmm.
It is it is in the waterway with the Suez Canal that separates Africa from the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
It is a shortcut so that you don't have to go all the way around the Horn of Africa to get goods to the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much jujitsu you know about, but right now, Iman has the world in a rear naked choke because it has choked off this waterway. It's genius. It's genius. These arrogant bastards didn't see this coming. Like we said,
who's the arrogant bastards?
America, Russia. A lot of people are arrogant about Iran. Iran is not Iraq, bro. They on some other shit. And all of the targets that they have said they were going to hit, they hit with alarming accuracy. They're not telling you this over here. Now, the next phase of what they finna do is gonna be on this soil. Because they got people that don't mind walking in with explosives all over their body and pulling the trigger. Americans ain't ready for that. But the what you're looking at right now is, and I don't know how many of you, and this is what that's that thing. I don't know how many of you remember about a year and a half ago, Trump fired all the people who knew what the hell they was doing. That was for this. It's no coincidence that planes is falling. Did you hear about the plane that ran into the fire truck?
Yeah, we was just talking about it. Yeah,
bruh, that plane ran into that fire truck because the competent people who could stop it were fired on purpose. This is the purposeful. I keep telling people, America is dead already. It's just falling slow.
So,
okay, can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
You said something along the lines of like the Strait of Hormuz, and the Suez Canal and stuff. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, most of the stuff, and thank you, bro. And I'll shut the fuck up when ordered. I ain't come up here to monopolize it. It's just something I follow.
No F-bombs, no M-bombs. Keep going.
Oh, whoops. Okay. I'll shut up if I ain't gonna try to overstay my welcome. But if somebody could bring it up, I don't want to look for it right now. But
I mean the Africa part, like the
yes, sir.
Africa part.
The Strait of Hormuz is this little. If you saw the cartoon, you saw that curve where they were choking off. Well, through that curve comes a gang of the world's TVs. Though everything in your house get to you from a boat to a truck to the store. That's the route. If they choke that route off for a lot of the world, that means those boats can't go through there and they have to go around the southern tip of Africa. This adds 12
Something
to 15 days to each trip. Now think about those big oil tankers and how, have you ever seen like the 48-foot crate on a truck, right? Have you ever seen those tankers that have those 48-foot trucks, trailers on them? They have thousands of those. Now multiply that times thousands of ships that have to go thousands of miles around. The gas, the personnel, the maintenance, the time delay, all of that adds up to more. That's why your gas costs more. That's why everything in your house fit the quadruple. This is why you have to have things that are not disposable, like your car. Yeah, go ahead.
Why wouldn't those like TV, the ones that like transport the TV and all that, why wouldn't they be able to go through the Suez Canal?
Because in order to get there, you got to go through the Strait of Hormuz.
No, you don't.
Okay, well then, I'm sorry that I'm wrong, and you go ahead and correct me with whatever you have.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what you're saying, because the Strait of Hormuz is between, you know, Iran, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and all that. That's the Middle East. That's not Africa. Suez Canal is with Egypt, which is, you know, Africa.
I'm sorry.
And then you got the Red Sea, and then
okay.
so like the Suez Canal and the Red Sea connect, but
All
the
right,
Strait of Hormuz doesn't connect to either one of those.
Okay. Oh, well, let's look at it on a map. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe the Strait of Hormuz does not have the world in a rear naked choke right now. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe that's not why the gas is going
Suez
up.
Canal and the Africa portion.
Dude,
Let's look it up.
this dude.
Y'all can keep talking while I look it up.
What part of we just because we agreeing that we're not getting the oil is going up because they got us in a chokehold. So I right up here agreeing to that. I think AR was disagreeing with something you said about Africa.
Oh yeah, exactly. The route that has to be taken goes, if you cannot go through the Strait of Hormuz, you have to go. The route that has to be taken, from what I understand, is all the way around the Horn of Africa, all the way around the tip of Africa. I don't know how we get around that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. You're saying they got to take another route, and that's when. Okay.
Yes, and it adds almost 2 weeks to everything, and sometimes and forgive me for being inaccurate. Sometimes accuracy gets in the way of right. What's right is that the choke off right there is about to make everything cost more money, and this is not what you are watching is not happenstance. This has been planned for a long, long time by a bunch of people in a bunch of different places to bring about this thing we keep hearing about called the New World Order or One World Government. Yes, this is tied to this.
Yes, and we have a president who's all for it, so he's pushing it forward. Yeah.
Yes, sis, this dude, when you get ready, think of America as an airplane. If you wanted to crash it, who better to put in the front seat than a monkey? Especially when most of the people on the plane love the monkey. That's what you're watching right now.
So is this a big enough picture for y'all to see? So Middle East, we got Africa, we got Egypt, Afghanistan, we see it, or do we need to make it bigger, move it over?
If you could minimize it so we could see the tip of the bottom of this map. There you go. Keep going. Now you see that little. Now you see how that water looks little as a sliver, bruh. Africa is always lied about on the map. Africa is freaking huge. If you can't go through there to get your goods, see that little line right there that we were just arguing about where it was. If you can't get through there, you can't get to New York.
Okay,
you can't get to Brazil.
Why can't you use the Suez Canal? That's what I'm asking you.
Well, you can't. You see, the Suez Canal is at the top of that water. Make it bigger again. Make it a little bigger. Yeah, a little bigger. Stop.
You're saying the Suez Canal is at the top of the Strait of Hormuz?
I believe it's at. Okay, let's do this. I don't know exactly where the Suez Canal is, so let's look. We have
It's near Cairo, north of Red Sea.
Okay, well, let me look for myself because this seems to be far more important than the Suez Canal.
Between Egypt and Israel.
Yes, to get there. Now let's go back to that map. That strip of water is that right there. Now, no, go back. to the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, to the Suez Canal. That canal was dug so that ships didn't have to go. Yes, if you can get through there, go back. Oh, wait a minute. Whoops, I'm on the wrong screen. Oh my God, I'm on the wrong screen. If you, do you see how that looks like a badly rolled blunt? That water, the water.
You talking about the Red Sea?
Yes, sir. Back out. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just back out a little bit. I know that I'm looking at a badly rolled light. Nope. Go back closer. A badly rolled light blue blunt.
Yeah, the Red Sea.
Okay.
Talking about the Red Sea.
Whole world,
a real pothead.
The whole world. Wait, hold on now. The Lord speaks to a fool. The whole world hits their goods at the Suez Canal.
Okay.
And they light that joint at the bottom. Back out. I'm trying. Back out. I got to give it to you. No, smaller. No, the other way. The other way. Keep going. Stop. Oh, my sweet day.
Right now.
I'm trying to explain it as best I can. Up through, and I'm not going to, again, this is an exercise. Thank you, Creator. We cannot get hung up on accurate over right. I'm not accurate with this. I am right. Okay. Up through that, you really came up. Go back closer, and this will make perfect sense to you. Is the map moving? Hello? Okay.
Right there.
Stop. Right there. Perfect. If you look at that as a badly rolled blunt with the tip at the top, and right there at where the water makes an L, that's the flame. Down here, the flame is being choked off by Iran.
That's Eritrea.
Okay. Again. Please, if you could, hold my gross inaccuracies till the end. Can you do that for me, AR?
I'm trying. I'm not able to follow. That's my issue. Is I'm confused right now.
Well, this will straighten it out for you if you allow me to get all this stupid foolishness out without interrupting me. Is that okay?
I'll try my best, man.
Okay. Well, if you can't, could you write it down? Do you have an ink pen? Write down.
Just whisper it into the mic.
There you go. Well, no, that's distracting. And
go ahead, man. Say what you were saying.
I'm trying, bro. But you're being
confused, and the rest of us. Can you continue?
I'm trying, sister. I'm trying. Okay. Please.
I'm learning. I'm trying.
Okay. That little piece of that L of waterway. Leave it there. Freeze it. That L of waterway is vital to the world's goods. At the bottom of it and the top of it, if you can't get through the bottom of it, which is the Strait of Hormuz, you can't get to the top of it, which is where I'm grossly inaccurate to what is what. But I know this: if you cannot get to the top of it, you got to make a U-turn, because this has been on the news for a couple of weeks now about boats having to go around the tip. Now, back out, make it small. If you can't go through that joint, that blunt, you got to go all the way around the tip of this continent in order to get to New York, in order to get to Brazil, in order to get anywhere. That's a shortcut that is being choked off by Iran. When they choke that off, they got the world in a rear naked choke. This is coordinated with the fact that this thing that's going on at the airport, not a coincidence that it's happening right now. That's my point. Please tell me all the shit I was wrong about.
I would if I understood what you were saying. Can you put
all right? So this is what he mean by the accuracy. So the words that he's saying is correct, but he was just using the wrong geographic part of it, the situation. That's what.
But what does the Red Sea have to do with the Strait of? Why'd you take the map off?
That's what he was getting
the map off.
Right, that's what he. Hold on. So that's the part that he got confused. He was confusing the Red Sea with the Strait of Hormuz. That's all.
Okay, but Iran's not doing anything to the Red Sea. So
right,
confused.
Right. So don't be confused because he just used the wrong part of the geography.
Okay, so he's saying that Iran is choking off.
Go by his words, not by the map. Yeah, go by his words, not by the map.
I am going by his words. He's saying Iran is choking the Strait of Hormuz, and everything goes through the Strait of Hormuz. That's what he said. Those are his words.
Yes.
Everything doesn't go through the Strait of Hormuz.
But
I think he was trying to say the Red Sea is where everything goes through, and that's why he was bringing up the Suez Canal. But those things aren't being blockaded; they're not being stopped, so everything is still flowing through those just fine. And so that's what I'm confused about. He put two things together.
Maybe this can clear it up. You guys,
hold on, Uncle Jeff. So what he really talking about is the oil that is going through the Strait of Hormuz that we having an issue with, that Iran is allowing Chinese vessels to go through, and Iran is making money, and it's causing oil prices on our side to go up because we are not getting our oil because they have to go a different route, is what he's trying to explain.
Okay, so he was bringing up the TV stuff. He was bringing up as if it was a conspiracy against Africa.
No, I didn't. No, I'm sorry.
That's what, so either way, we can ignore the conspiracy thought. He brought up the TVs and all that stuff. Everything besides oil was also going through the Strait of Hormuz. That's what I'm trying to get addressed.
Let me clear that up. Let me clear that up. In my that's the weed part. In my pandemonium, I put all those things together.
Yeah.
But here's how I put them together. They all come to you on things that burn oil. And that's where the price hike comes.
Okay.
That's
again,
I'm sorry.
When people are high and they're talking, sometimes I get lost because I don't know.
Okay. Well, are you found yet? Are you found?
I think I found myself, but yeah.
Okay. Yes. Now that you found you, let's get past me being inaccurate if we could.
Yeah.
It's just best to be accurate when you're talking about geopolitics.
It is. You are absolutely right. I was dead wrong, and thank God you were here to catch me.
We know. You don't have to let us know.
I don't have to, but that's what's good about life. Getting some of the shit you don't have to have.
Ego. I know. I love getting my ego fed. Keep doing it.
Okay. Well,
let's get back. All right. So let's get back.
It's a lot easier to feed you when you chew instead of talk.
I appreciate it. Hey, whatever it takes.
Let's try to get back to the
food.
Conversation now.
There you go. That's what's important, young man.
That's the important part. Let me also welcome into the show. I believe it was KT, Kulu, and Samurai Titan Wasp.
Salute y'all up here. Hope y'all having a great day. To everybody in the chat, salute to y'all. Get y'all a morning cup of coffee or some tea or whatever, stay hydrated type shit. Look, man, I agree with everything you're saying, Uncle Jeff, but the thing I will say is we need to suck it up, Buttercup. Listen, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Figure it out. And I get what you're saying in terms of we is going to harm our conference, but I guess the best way I could say it is not Israel. Russia has been under sanctions since the 90s. You know what I'm saying? We cut off major productions for them. Now, we thought it would harm them, but what happened actually is they became a strong, self-sustaining economy. They make most of their goods within Russia at this point because it's hard, well, besides with China. But they don't get a lot of international goods. That's my whole point, and they figured it out on their own. We need some of that. We need
no doubt.
Word. I agree. This is harming our conference, but it's what you said too. We talking about gas prices when people dying in a war. You know what I'm saying,
bruh? I guess. And you are spot on with everything you're saying. I think it's a bit. Here's where it is, brother. Beyond comfort. Me and friends of mine and other people I know, that's why I always push back on this about what black people ain't doing, have been preparing for shit like this. Because it's not the conveniences, it's the people who don't know what to do when they are inconvenienced. When shelves go empty at grocery stores, when there start to be fights at the pump, this is with the people who aren't prepared. Unprepared city dwellers are the most dangerous people in America. That's your problem. Not so much, damn, gas is $9 a gallon, so now I got to ride a bike because I was smart enough to bring my world in smaller so I can get to everything. That's not the issue. The issue is the fool that can't feed his baby, so now he want to bust you in the head and steal your bike because he lost his job, cause. That's the issue. And it is that inner chewing at a people that has been going on. And to co-sign what you're saying about the Russians, brother, Russians been had it tougher. And the only thing I can push back on is the thing that's mostly been absent from Russia is the middle class, bro. Like we're here, over there, you got the mob, the government, and everybody's kind of in the middle of those. It's a little, you can't exactly compare Russia's past 50 years to America's past 50. As a matter of fact, I'll land if I can. I'll land here.
Okay.
If you were white between 1940 and 2000, you lived in the lap of luxury of civilization here in America. I'll land there.
Hey, listen. Also, by the way, in Russia, they completely put up a firewall. They can't even use Facebook or anything.
Come on.
They can't use nothing. They only could go to about like 3 websites in Russia right now.
And if you do,
you go on the, yeah, they catch your ass.
It ain't no you got the right to remain silent, bro. You don't want to go to jail in Russia.
So Russia is wild right now. I don't know what the hell.
But they do have their own Facebook alternative. Like that's what I'm saying. You'll make your own.
No, they don't. No. So even they own Facebook alternative. I forgot the name of it. That is shut down. So they can only go to 3 websites right now.
I get that he would compare the U.S. to Russia and make it seem like they self-reliant. They're self-reliant on certain things, and many other things they're not, just based on where they're located, right? But the idea of an American claiming, they're more self-reliant than America, like they're better. It's ridiculous.
I'm sure you knew he was going to come up here and cape for anything anti-US.
Hold on. I want to try to keep the other people that was patiently waiting. It was Kulu, the Samurai Taiwan, and I bring somebody up. So let's try to get everybody's thoughts in before we beat everybody up.
By the way, Bomb Cherry was dead ass on. When you right, you right.
Go ahead, Kulu, then Samurai. Is Kulu there? Let's see. Maybe he took a walk. Go ahead, Samurai.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I actually forgot the name I put on here, so I fucked. But yeah, no. I mean, if we just started producing oil in America, our gas prices would drop drastically. If we got enough of it, we would give enough away. A lot of surplus that we did have in places that didn't need it for situations like this. So, I mean. At the end of the day, I'm not happy.
What else happens if we start drilling oil on our own in our own area? What else happens?
No, but we don't need to. We have the largest like oil reserves in the
world. I don't know. I just lost half my shadow. So what happened? So I didn't know what we're talking about anymore.
What happened?
Halfway.
All right, go, Bob. Ask it one more time.
What happens to our land if we start drilling oil the way y'all make it seem like it's easy and simple? What happens here in America?
And okay, that's one. That's one. Come up with 5.
No, I don't want to. The most important aspect of it is we produce the oil that we need currently.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I said what I said.
I know I can't hear you. You breaking up or media?
Hold up. No. Yeah. Bomb. It's because you're not there. Hold on.
There you go.
All right. So while you get it together, we'll come back to you.
No, put your snippy back.
We'll come back to you.
Come on, bro.
We'll come back to you. Welcome to the show. And speaking of drilling, they are trying to, India has invested $300 billion in Brownsville, Texas, for them to refine our oil. I don't think that's such a good look the way how people think it is neither. But also, welcome to the show. Good day. Welcome to the show. Brownsville, New York. Good day.
Yo, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. First and foremost, Cuzzo, can you hear me? Am I coming through clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, let me take my shoes off before I walk into your room. Peace and love to the beautiful queens on the panel, the supreme goddess PH Diva. Peace and love to you. And then peace and love to
Peace and
Bomb
love.
Cherry Juice. Peace and love to you.
Same
And then
to you.
peace and love to all the queens in the chat, man. Anya Bracy, the SBG First Lady. Robin M. DB, Shiesty Bum. Rogue C. It's me, Dr. G, Sexy Red TV. Conversations with MJ, Miss Jalen Genesis, the voice of Venus, the verbal assassin. Renee, Dawn, Keisha G, Maya Reed, Zero Tolerance, the victorious one, Reese, ABT, the real Prism, Natasha Vincent, all the queens, man, Karen Mackey. I don't want to forget about none of the queens. Every time I hit this platform, I'm making my purpose to lift y'all up, give y'all flowers, and show these men, show these knuckleheads how they should be treating the ladies, the
Do the
queens,
Oscar
and the
music.
women.
Yeah.
We got you. We got you.
What happened, Cuzzo?
You good? Go ahead, Cuz.
Uncle Jeff was being rude and disrespectful.
I was joking.
Yeah.
Nobody ever watched the Oscars.
Sir.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We don't joke. We don't joke like that.
Okay. Go ahead, Cuz.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why the brothers always seem to get their panties in a bunch when the queens are getting some love. It's weird to be jealous of that, man. But peace and love to the kings as well. Can't forget about the kings. Listen, man, we're at an interesting time in history in our country, right? You mentioned TSA, Cuzzo. My advice to anybody who's traveling, whether internationally or domestically, you probably need to be at the airport at least 4 hours prior to your flights. I recently came back from traveling and it was a disaster. Very uncomfortable. So just be advised that if you getting on a plane, you're gonna be dealing with a lot of inconvenience because of this partial government shutdown of Department of Homeland Security funding. And we now know that this is Trump's shutdown. Reason why we now know that is because the Democrats and the Republicans recently had a meeting, and I'm talking about those in the Senate. They recently had a meeting to try to resolve the impasse in negotiations to approve the funding, right? And they came up with a solution. They said, hey, we'll fund TSA, we'll fund other sectors within Department of Homeland Security, but we're not gonna fund ICE, right? The Republicans was okay with that. Democrats was also okay with that. They sent it over to the president and he said no. He said, I'm not interested in negotiating with the Democrats unless and until they are willing to vote with us on the Save America Act. So I don't know how long this impasse is gonna last, and it could definitely get a lot worse than what it is right now, because as long as those TSA agents aren't getting paid, a lot of them, right? They are, middle class Americans or below, and they need money, right? So a lot of them are supporting their families, are trying to support their families, and they're gonna attempt to find other avenues to feed their family. So also air traffic controllers, things like that. So we're in a situation. We're in a little bit of a situation that doesn't seem to have a resolution at the moment. The Save American Act, though, is kind of interesting because part of that is requiring that Americans show their citizenship in order to be able to vote, right? So if that bill gets passed, the majority of Americans would now have to go ahead and apply for a passport, at least those who don't live in a state to where your citizenship is provided in your driver's license, right? So there's only a few states in America where the driver's license have your citizenship. And if you're not in one of those states, if the Save America Act is passed, you're not going to be able to vote, right? So that's the hang up with that. You know, they're not trying to pass that, Republicans or Democrats, right? Because they understand the repercussions of doing so. And Trump is using that as a negotiating tool to continue to keep the Department of Homeland Security shut down, which is affecting us in terms of being able to travel. So that's one issue. The second issue, in terms of the, what's going on in Iran. Look, man, it's a big problem. You got a brother by the name of Joe Kent, right? He was the former director of counterterrorism. Trump appointed him. He's a MAGA Republican supporter, right? And he recently resigned this month. He said, I can no longer support this administration in this illegal war. He said it was no reason for it, and it was a big mistake. So he resigned, right? They asked Trump about him, and Trump called the brother weak, right? He said he's weak on national security, right? Now, you got this guy, Trump. He was a draft dodger, never did anything brave in his life. Calling this guy who is a former Green Beret, right? Former Special Forces soldier, former paramilitary CIA operative, right? Trump is calling him weak. This is La La Land. You know what I'm saying? This is a big problem. And I echo all of Uncle Jeff's sentiments in terms of the Strait of Hormuz, right? And how important it is. And here's the reality of the situation. A few days ago, Trump said that, hey, I'm going to issue them a 48-hour ultimatum that if they don't agree to all of my demands, we're going to, destroy all of their oil and energy facilities, right? Then Trump later, came back and did something else. But PhD was going to like this part, right? 15 minutes before the markets opened yesterday, right? Something strange happened. The markets rallied upward to a tune of $1.7 trillion. I repeat that. $1.7 trillion. The markets rallied, right? 15 minutes before anything. The oil prices plummeted about 14%. And then 15 minutes later, Trump on his social media platform said that, hey, he's now instituting a 5-day pause on escalations in terms of bombing Iran and Middle East. And he claims that we are in the process of negotiating a ceasefire with them. What happened is Iran said no such negotiations were taking place. As of today, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. And as of today, Israel and Iran are still bombing each other right now actively, right? The U.S. isn't engaged in it right now because of that five-day pause that Trump instituted in order to manipulate the markets, right? So that is what PhD always talks about, is how can we as Black Americans get in a position to benefit off of this $1.7 trillion gain that happened in a matter of 15 minutes, right? How can we manipulate the markets for our gain to that degree, right? Which is why, because we don't have the answers, she calls Black men cowards and weak. And she has a point. She has a leg to stand on when she says these things, right? So, yeah, listen, we got to get it together, man. We gotta figure out how we can gain more influence and more information in terms of what we need to do in order to create change that's gonna, you know, be for a better direction of our community. And also, 50 to 56% of Americans have passports, right? And if you look at what's going on in your government, we're reaching a place where you're going to have to show passports in order to prove that you're a citizen. That's going to happen within the next 3 to 5 years. So if you're part of that 50% that don't have a passport, I suggest you apply for a U.S. passport today. It's going to cost you about $150, but it's necessary. It lasts for 10 years, and then you won't have an issue when it comes to showing that you're a citizen, voting, or whatever else they try to stop you from doing here in the future. But y'all can have the conversation, man. Peace and love. I had a great time on vacation, and we back.
Where you went, Brownsville?
I was in Cancun, Queen.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Hey, Diva, why did you laugh so hard? I'm gonna tell
you. Know what? Cut it out. Oh, I did want to respond to something that Brownsville said, though, because I saw something, an article earlier today. So this was like a week or two. I think this was the same conversation where I was saying something about folks being cowards. But I was talking about how the state of Texas at one point was requiring Black women who do black hair, like natural black hairstyles, to get a cosmetology license. They fought, and in the end, the state said you don't have to get a license to do that, only if you like washing hair. But remember, I said like they could have taken that opportunity to institutionalize themselves and say, no, people do need to be taught certain techniques, but so they create their own system of cosmetology schools. Okay, so this morning, I saw an article where the state of New York is requiring cosmetology schools to now teach about black hair, how to do natural black hair. But the point is, now you finna have it in the mainstream schools where you could have had your own system of schools where only you could teach that type of stuff. So we have to really start thinking a little bit different.
Uncle Justin, like you wanted to jump in on that point.
That it's the most incredibly poignant. It is the point of moving forward. If I could just jump off of where she's talking about. Black people don't need another nickel from no place if we just take back what's ours. Natural hair is ours. The Black woman in her unweaved, unpermed, all natural state is the earth's original blueprint for beauty. There's no way around that, bruh. If we take that back and say, damn, stand up on this, we don't need no permission, no regulation, and no syllabus from you. I don't need shit from you to braid Keisha hair. You need to step off. That's where we as Black men need to be, as Black lawyers, as Black politicians. And until we have bills like that, where there's a bill pushed forward that says that Black people, and if you're confused by that, the people of the sun, the people who kids, you can put them on the floor at 18 months old and they can all dance to Marvin Gaye's Got to Give It Up. In step, them people. We need bills that say, stay the hell away from shit that belong to us. And black professionals, Black male professionals need to step forward and stand on that. In that, I agree with you. Absolutely.
Nice.
I know outside of the segregation thing, which I'm completely against, I do like to see that people are saying less government. I like that. I think we're coming around to the, less government is better. North Carolina has something simple, actually. It's funny PG has said that because I think North Carolina has an issue with a lack of cosmetology. Oh. Don't start shit. Has a issue with lack of cosmetologists or whatever, and so they were doing something because it was like it takes like 9 months or something like that to go through cosmetology school to do any type of cosmetology, and so they were trying to do something where you can get like a certification in like 6 weeks or 3 months or something like that to kind of help address that shortage. But I don't think there should be anything. I think people should be able to, if they want to do hair, they can do hair. If people consent to getting their hair done by so-and-so, then they consent to having their hair done by so-and-so. I have no idea why the government is involved at all. So I agree with that part.
But the government needs to be involved. That's why, because motherfuckers will put all kinds of chemicals in your hair and you'll be bald. You know what I mean? And so people aren't, how should I say it? People, when it's all about money, people will do whatever they need to do to make money, including cheat, steal, and have you bald in one spot of your head. Okay?
Yeah, I agree that the government should have laws and you should be able to sue those people. But what you're talking about right now can still be done today, right? You can go to someone's house and get your hair done, and they can put whatever they want in your Uncle Jeff.
But you can't sue them.
You can sue them.
No.
Why wouldn't you be able to sue someone?
Well, I guess you could sue anyone, right? But if I go and buy I'm not sure if you know this, but only certain people can buy certain chemicals for women's hair, right? But if I go in the store and buy a little perm kit, that's different. And the chemicals in that is also going to be different. So, yeah, like in order for me to go to Sally's and buy this certain type of chemical, I have to have a license to do it. So, you could come in, if you sit in my chair at home, though, what are you suing me for? Because I can't even buy that chemical.
Just because it's that, you're talking about one specific chemical on Sally's that you can't buy OTC, but that doesn't mean there aren't other chemicals someone can put in a hairspray bottle at home that would do damage to you or your hair as well. So you would be able to sue them for that.
But
you're operating a business. You're still like, if you're going to someone for a service and they damage you, you can still sue them. And if you couldn't, I would agree with you that you should be able to sue them, but that doesn't mean the government needs to regulate who can do hair. I don't believe that.
I think I can glue those together. I don't, because you're both right. What needs to happen when we say government, and that's the point that I am making, is who is that government? Why is it not, I believe it was PH Diva that was talking about this issue. Why is it not that this Black natural hair government be led up by 100 sisters that specialize in Black natural hair? Keep your government ass the hell out of it. That's who regulates it. That's who says what chemicals. That's who says how long. Put this in 15 minutes, not 16. The sisters that actually do the hair. Why that's when I say govern, that's the default is rich old white male generally in our heads. Let's change that government to it's sister shit. What, bruh? Why does some government led by rich old white men have anything to do with how tight, how often Keisha braid Tanya hair? Or Beast Mode when he would get his hair laid down. When if you got long hair, I wish I still could, but I got a part 3 in the middle now, so I just go bald. But I would wear a big ass afro, bro, and I don't think that should equal less than for a Black man, and there should be nobody white anywhere near Black hair. We should govern that. The money, all of it.
And also, I want to say, y'all also need to be a part of hitting that white like button and turn it black. We need to turn it black.
Turn it black.
All right.
It's the other way around.
In night mode.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
Like if you turn it black, that means it's no longer good. So
Right.
You fucked that
Got to
one up.
turn it right over here, baby.
Whatever the case is, we not even at 50 likes, which is crazy. We've been live for almost an hour and a half. That don't make no damn sense. There we go. Appreciate y'all. Hit the like. We should be easily get to 200 likes today. We're having a great, dope conversation how we could keep on moving forward mentally at this moment, because it starts with communication and thought first, and then we get into some actions, right? So we got to do it one step at a time. Stop having this everything going to happen all at once type of mentality. This is the beginning steps.
I like that. I feel like it's a step, like you're saying, a step closer to the ideal situation. The ideal situation being nobody, whether they're black or white, is telling you whether you can do hair or whether you can go and consensually agree to get your hair done by someone else. That's the idea, not to switch the master from a white master to a black master and calling it okay. But a step closer is a step closer. So I appreciate that.
Okay. Well, if I could hit that ball back, let's there always needs to be a leader. And I think that, and again, I'm running for emperor in 2028. Yeah, let me go ahead. I forgot to tell you guys. It is not that you are trading one master for another. You are trading a master for your freedom regulated by those who know what they're talking about that look like you. So you can get your hair done by whoever you want to. You can do what you want to, but here is a list, here is a set of regulations made by sisters over generations that don't need nobody's help with this, that know exactly what the hell they talking about when they tell you in this jar, put this here for 15 minutes. You can do whatever you want. You can step outside. These sisters are in charge of who gets licenses, what the test is. You can have anybody do your hair and they can do it however they want. But when I'm emperor, when you come to court and you tell me that somebody did your hair over a sink, I am going to dismiss this case because these sisters have a regiment that you could have went to, and it ain't about money, because when I'm emperor, these sisters is going to be teaching other sisters for free that want to learn. So you could get it done, and it could have been done right over here. You didn't. Get the hell on out my court. Next case. That's the world.
Are we voting for emperor, or is this?
Yeah, you vote for
God, dude, y'all be voting for you.
I want to be voted in.
Wait, are we doing the super chats or no?
Okay. Yeah.
Around to is $5. Annie Malone had that over 100 years ago with an international hair school. Follow her blueprint with some modern adjustments.
Wow.
Damn. Can you bring up? Can y'all be pooping bro. Even more?
That's dope.
Shout out to Annie Malone. Goddamn. Shout out to Annie.
Now, I'm sorry. Is it more? Or
you good?
Okay. Let's. This is why I say we need to go with. You're absolutely right. With black men not standing up enough.
Come on.
But here's where I get off the oval dirt track. We can talk about it for centuries, about what we haven't done. You know what that does is that make you die in the wilderness. Most people die of shame in the wilderness because they can't believe they're there. So they don't do shit to get out of it. Let's get out of it. On this very hair issue, Sharon, let's start a fire. If you a black lawyer, if you a black anything and you male, you need to be on this. This is where you pull out the Jasper ass shade tree house coons in government. You're Republican or Democrat. This is an issue. It's ours. We want black women to regulate black hair.
I like it. We don't
want any regulation about hair that is not needed. That's what we want. If you want to have a separate private entity setting guidelines, just like in the cyber industry, you have plenty of cyber companies setting guidelines, and you can follow those guidelines. If someone wants to follow this, black organization's guideline, they can follow that. If they want to follow another black organization's guideline, they can follow that. and they can market that as part of their business. You know, we follow this guideline, we follow, you know, this, you know, whatever it may be. NIST 800 whatever it is, I can't remember for cyber.
I understand what you're
that's
saying.
Fine. You don't need the government involved. That's the issue. I think too many people are so used to the government having their little hands in every single thing and regulating every single thing as if that's a positive, and it's not. It's like the world can operate without the government setting the boundary for every single thing that you do.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I disagree. I don't disagree totally. There's a lot of things that maybe they shouldn't be involved with, but there's a lot of things they need to be involved with when it comes to this capitalized society that we have, where people will go in the bathroom and grab some toilet water and sell it as toilet water, and people will think it's perfume, because people will do that if they can get away with it. And therefore the government need to come in and make sure that they're not doing that it don't have feces in your perfume.
That's what suing is for. If someone
but you can negate the fact of the regulation.
You want to mute me?
You got to mute, John. You got to mute. Yeah. What you are discussing is basically kind of, and I'm not against that. Far less government, a controlled, an almost controlled anarchy, if you will. I ain't mad at you with that. The issue that I think you brought up that I kind of got to push back on is the concept of, if this one black institution wants to do this over here outside of this black institution, there's not enough of us to do that. I think if we can all agree that black people need to work together as one unit, and I'm not saying who it is, I'm saying that sisters need to be in charge of it. I'm saying that when I go to the cookout and I see brothers and sisters with their dope ass hair, sisters did it. Why the hell should, and Bomb Cherry is exactly right. This is the need for regulation because of human nature, because of how funky people can be. There needs to be a regulation. My point is that, I'm not afraid to say it, is that I think black people need to regulate shit for black people. And I don't, you know who doesn't have a problem with it? Koreans, Armenians, the small hat community. We are the only people that have a problem with turning around and going, I need somebody that look like me and think like me to regulate for me. And I don't, that's where I think
it was not true, because the U.S.
Hold on one second.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Go ahead, Diva.
Auto to Lucas, $5. Y'all looking at regulation from the wrong angle. Use it to your advantage. Sisters, take over the industry, then regulate it to keep other folks out.
Come on.
But we don't like to keep other folks out. We want to push open the door and say, everybody, come on.
Right?
Just save me a seat. And then when we get there, they done took up all the seats and say, N-word, get out of here.
Right.
And it's like it's never happened before. It's like you ain't seen this play over and over and over
it's
again.
It's indoctrinated in us, because even I'd be wanting to say, nah, let them in. But Diva is right. You know, we let people in and then they understand power.
Right.
And so because they understand it where we don't, they didn't take over.
Well, this is, I mean, money's the same color regardless of what color handprint comes from.
You gotta fix your mic, sir.
Money doesn't equal power.
Is my mic? Wait, hold it. Is my mic messed up?
It's muffled. It's muffled.
Better?
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay. A little bit.
So money is the same color regardless of the hand it comes from. That's what we're thinking about commerce there. It's okay to keep their money as long as it's for our purposes.
Okay.
Well,
Yes,
we,
and
we don't let him be at
all
the door.
all these years that's been a trap. For all these years that's been a trap that we keep getting caught in.
I love you, young
Yeah,
man.
but that
wildly
just shows
naive.
us he not the one that we could leave at the door to make the determinations about who come in and who
come on
don't,
in.
right? You don't put him out up. You put him way in the back of the house. You get somewhere and sit down.
Yeah, that's kind of naive.
I did want to say something. Uncle Joel
I
said there's
mentioned
not enough.
indoctrination. He's indoctrinated really heavily. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Phil.
We got to but instead of just calling names, let's really drill down on that for this young brother.
Okay. So there was a comment, something about there's not enough, to have these separate organizations. And I just completely disagree. There's plenty of people. I think that the issue you're seeing right now is that there's so many regulations to start that organization. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of this, that, and the other training. And then you have, other things you have to meet when you do make the business, annual filing. Oh, speaking of annual filing, you got to do annual filing and all that good stuff, which doesn't necessarily need to happen. People run businesses. When I was growing up, we would just go to someone's house. My sisters would go to someone's house somewhere and they would get their hair done. My brother goes to someone's house to get his braids. It's not something that needs to be regulated. And people do it all the time. They go and interact with people that they heard word of mouth. Hey, they do hair well, and they go and do that. So it's not anarchy. It's not anything different than what has been happening in the community. It's just saying the government doesn't need
Hold on, y'all. So the main issue is that what you were talking about is not business. That's the number one issue.
Which part?
That your model.
Yeah, your model is not business. Your model is hey, this girl that
village.
It's
village, and I'm not mad at it.
And we're not saying that it doesn't happen, but we cannot.
All right, so that's great. The connection I was making there was that there's plenty of people in the.
No, you cannot.
There's plenty of people in the communities that do this stuff to have these organizations start. That is the point. You said there's not enough for an organization to start, but we know there is because everybody lives across the U.S. and gets their hair braided in the community by different people. So there's enough people within the industries to start their own organization to set guidelines. That is the point I was making.
So this is the point from somebody who used to go and sit in somebody's house and get her hair done.
Me too.
I ended up with fungus in my head, right? I ended up with something white. At first, it's flakes, right? And then it started going
dandruff.
Right. It looked like dandruff until it started going into my face. It started moving to my face, right? And then we find out that this lady, what she wasn't doing was the thing she needed to do with her tools. So some woman sits in a chair and she got a virus in her head or something, fungus in her head. And the comb that was in her hair now goes in my head and everybody else's head. And that is why you need regulation.
Right. And that's why Bob
has nothing to do with
that. Slow down. Go ahead, Diva. Slow down, y'all.
She stepped away.
She said back.
Aaron, 2 Lucas with the $5. Look at what happened to the ambulance industry that black men invented. They let others in and got kicked out.
How about it?
And the whole this is why people go to barbershops and not people's garages, right? Because it's some kind of regulation that
this is
that's not why. That's not why.
Okay.
No, that's not.
I think this started with you disagreeing with what I had to say.
Can I comment? No, it wasn't just you. Diva said the same thing about segregation. So it wasn't just you.
Okay.
As for the comment that Bomb Cherry made, there's plenty. Just the other, I was just what was it? September 25, I think. I still have an article on my phone in the history or whatever. It was about a Listerine outbreak or something like that, and 7 people died, and a whole bunch of other people were hospitalized in a whole bunch of different states. In the RTP area, there was an Asian sushi joint. I can't remember, it's Sushi something 9 or something like that. Food poisoning last year, I think twice. So this regulation doesn't stop these things from happening. So the same thing that you're talking about happened when you went to this person's house and got your hair done is the same thing that happens in these other places that are regulated. So regulation doesn't stop that.
No. So no, hold on, slow down, hold on. Hold on. Again, y'all got to stop arguing 100%. It doesn't eliminate the problem completely. No. So we got to stop trying to argue that something is completely eradicated. What the regulation do is stop these things from happening on a larger scale. So the way how we can have it in an isolated this one restaurant, the reason why we know this one restaurant, because they not following regulations and they could track it to where everybody got food poisoning. But if we had no regulation, damn near every store would be food poisoning people. And
no, it wouldn't, because people wouldn't go to the stores. This is the patheticness.
And that is the importance of the regulation. So this way we could track things and we could have it where the majority of people are not being affected by it.
This is a simple. We can do a simple scenario. If an airline sprung up overnight, and
first of all, do you disagree with what I just said?
Partially, yeah. If an airline sprung up overnight, or a food spot sprung up overnight, and people went there, and let's say 50% of the people that went ended up hospitalized, and the news covers it, are you going to that restaurant?
No.
A lot of people can go because they wouldn't know that people got sick.
He's not okay. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
The point is that yes, you can say like, oh, this may happen if this regulation didn't exist. But once people find out, hey, this restaurant or this person is doing hair and they're messing up people's head, they're giving them viruses and all this other stuff, people getting hospitalized, they're going to stop going to them. And you can sue. That is a civil suit. I don't know why it wouldn't be a civil suit. That doesn't make any sense.
But, hey, y'all, what you're missing is that if it ain't no regulations, what you would do is you would destroy the industry.
No, you wouldn't. Cyber is one of the least regulated industries, and it's one of the industry.
Hold on. So what I'm trying to get you to understand. So instead of
tell me mute one shut up.
So the issue is, instead of people not going to that restaurant, people would stop going to sushi restaurants altogether.
No, they wouldn't.
No. Yes. I think I can tie these together. I think I can tie these together.
They would think that the sushi must be bad instead of the people
the restaurant.
Right.
I'm in the industry right now, and it's less regulated. I'm not. What industry am I in that's been regulated?
Hold on. So hold on.
Okay.
You disagree. Hold on, y'all, because I do not like arguing just to argue.
Thank you.
So, do you honestly believe that if people got sick from eating sushi, they didn't know where it came from, that would not affect the sushi industry?
I didn't know you said didn't know where it came from. Yeah, it would if they didn't know where it came from. Wow.
Okay, and that's why the regulations matter, because you can start pinpointing who are the bad actors. If you don't have no regulations, it'd be much more difficult to pinpoint the bad actors, and then now the industry is the bad actor.
Why would it be? You think without regulations, you wouldn't be able to pinpoint where people got food poisoning? Is that what you're telling me?
If you want to, hold on. I'm talking to an overarching point. If you wanted to isolate it strictly to food poisoning,
I'm just giving an example.
It would be very difficult. But the overarching point that we are trying to communicate, that I'm trying to communicate, is that without the regulations, it'd be more difficult to pinpoint it, and therefore the industry would be affected instead of that business that is a bad actor.
In the beginning, people would stop going to this, sushi, for example. They would stop going to sushi joints in the beginning until they figure out where it came from. Yes, that's the same concept now. I feel like when people start getting sick from, let's say right now, measles is a big thing in the South. I don't know how it is in the North, but in South, I border South Carolina. North Carolina is starting to get cases too. Measles outbreaks happens. People just stop going places until they figure out where exactly the people went. So that same thing happens now.
What? Measles? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You're talking about. So measles is something that you get, right? So are you thinking that a restaurant or somewhere they went is why they got measles? Because they got measles from somebody who had the measles. And in fact, they used to have measles parties, right? So the kids can get them real young and get it over with. So I'm not sure why you mentioned measles, because it's not attached to
Let's give an example of measles
or building or anything.
Well, it is, because if you go in the same place, if you're touching the same thing that people have touched that have measles, then you can contract it. I think it's
no.
Hold on. You cannot compare an outbreak of measles.
I'm just giving an example of what people do.
Hold on. But we got to be able to
do.
No, but that's not a good example of regulating an industry.
It's not about regulation right now. I'm giving an example of what happens when people find out something is happening, and they just stop going to places, generally speaking, until they figure out where exactly it came from. And I'm saying that's the same exact thing that I think would happen within the food industry, where if sushi, let's say there was no regulation, it's harder to track down. People would stop going to a sushi place until they figure out which sushi place is giving the food poisoning, and then they would still go to other sushi places.
Somebody needs to shoot a gun. Okay,
That's
there's a way
ridiculous.
for everybody to be right here. I know that's probably not what's in your souls right now, but dude ain't wrong.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
Oh my God. Okay. Let me know when I can speak uninterrupted for 60 seconds.
So the problem is, Uncle Jeff, that like we can't keep allowing to have just point makes sense in this very.
Maybe Uncle Jeff is not completely agree with me.
Right? We gotta
hear what he has to say.
It would be nice if I could just get it out.
I agree,
Sherrod,
Uncle Jeff. I agree. I think we should let Uncle Jeff talk.
It.
All right,
can you let me say it?
Oh, yeah. Have y'all been fucking talking?
No,
have I been regulating?
I haven't said anything.
All right, so don't try. All right, so please let's act like everybody been able to talk. It haven't been a time in this whole hour and 40 minutes that people was not able to talk. We do not need to start acting like as of 2 seconds ago now people can't talk.
But he's agreeing with me, so I think that he should get the right to talk. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that measles thing still got me confused.
So,
measles only lasts on the surface for 2 hours, so it wouldn't ruin the business if people caught measles at the local restaurant.
And catching a disease or some kind of outbreak has nothing to do with the industry itself. That's every industry would be affected by something like the measles. But when we talk about something very specific, as if somebody's hair follicles got something because of a industry, that whole industry would be affected instead of just one bad actor. That's what we are actually having a conversation about. And that's the problem I'm having with him trying to use a disease or something of that nature.
But y'all are acting like word of mouth isn't a thing.
Shadow, hold on a second.
Again,
I want to hear Uncle Jeff.
Wow.
I got you, Uncle Jeff.
Let me know. No,
when
I
you're
just
agreeing
I
with
just
me.
want no, brother. That's not the point.
That is my
Sherrod,
point.
Sherrod, okay, I understood. Sherrod, let me know when it's okay for me to talk.
Good.
I can tie all of this together. The point of rules is not to catch those who gonna do some bullshit. The point of rules is to set a map for those who want to do it right. The people who set that map should have a standard. And the people who follow that standard, the restaurant, the hospital, the grocery store, that follow these standards that we set are the people who the courts stand on the side of. If you want to get your hair done, you want to get your car fixed outside of this, we are going to look at that different than this standard that we have held. If you screw somebody up because you did not follow our standards, we gonna hammer your ass because we made it very easy or at least accessible for you with no money so that you have no excuses to learn how to do what it is you cutting corners on. Jeff Brown, Emperor 2028. That takes care of what this dude is talking about. He's not wrong.
No, but Uncle Jeff, he's arguing against what you're just saying.
No, this takes care of what he's saying.
He's saying he's tying it together. It's a compromise.
This is why I'm trying. What he's saying is that you should be able to go to this restaurant, and this restaurant should be able to poison you, and you should be able to sue. And when you come to court, in my opinion, these should be the rules. Okay, we had the Soul Brother seal of approval stamp, and you got to be clean as hell, you got to be good as hell, you got to give fantastic service in order to get this seal. Did this restaurant have this seal? Yes or no? No. Okay, well, this is what we would normally give in a case had it happened with that seal on the wall. Maybe your case is worth $500,000. Today you get $50,000. The person who was operating without a seal, which is not against the law, you can do that. But here's the penalty. If you get caught doing that, you have to mandatorily go to school. You have to mandatorily give your time where we designate, where we figure out what else you good at, you gonna do that. And if you ain't good at shit else, we gonna have your monkey ass picking up trash. Jeff Brown, Emperor 2028.
Yeah, that's not AR's against that, I'm assuming.
Right.
What's wrong with that, AR?
Respectfully,
it's whole
you was
talking
gonna be
point is,
more on my
I'm
side.
asking, so get.
Huh? Oh no, go.
No, how
you
does
talk?
that not
AR.
solve your problem, AR?
Yeah.
Because it's still the government regulating and picking winners and losers. That's kind of the issue.
No. The winners and losers pick themselves. They pick themselves.
It doesn't.
As always,
if you're
winners
saying,
and losers pick themselves.
If you're saying that the one side is going to be held differently in a courtroom than the other, then the government is picking winners and choosers. Because now you're saying that if I went to this place consensually as an adult and I said, and there's an expectation of something there, so whatever the case may be, I go there and I get infected with something or some other detrimental impact on my life occurs from going to that place, that when I go to the court, the government's going to say, well, we told you not to go there, so you're not going to get anything. And
That's not what I said.
Okay,
that's
maybe
absolutely not what I said.
Okay.
Well, let me clear it up for you, because I didn't say not get anything. I said that
played by different rules.
No, yeah, yes.
Okay. And that's my issue.
Okay, and I understand your issue, and I'm going to try to address you and be quiet I'm going to try to address you, and I'm just asking that you give me the room I gave you. Now, you were a little vague about where you went to get what you got. But when I'm emperor, by the way, the national anthem will be changed to Flashlight. When I am emperor, that place you went, you were done wrong, brother. You were done wrong. You deserve compensation for that. However, you do know good and hell well, we're going to have the good and hell well laws. You do know good and hell well where to go. Because we done told you, number one, where to get your hair done. We done told you, number two, where to get your food. We done told you what doctors to go to. We done told you what mechanics to go to. We have policies in place with these mechanics, with everything we do. We have policies for Black people who don't have no money. We figure that shit out so that this brother with no money can't get to work because his car ain't running, because he can't afford to do that. We get as a nation, we need to be able to fix that. So that will be no excuse. We will figure out a way for everybody to thrive. And when you decide to step outside of that, nigga, that's on you. I owe you one. That's on you.
That's $2 too, by the way, Uncle Jeff.
My bad. That's a yes. That's on you. And I don't see and I'm saying what I'm saying is not. I'm not for no government. I'm for government of competent people, of competent Black people by competent Black people.
Okay, and before you go, I think like Shadow wanted to jump in. For the Cash App, I bake my own skin and hair products. Know your body.
How about it?
Go ahead. I believe Shadow wanted to jump in. That's not a perfect
Hey,
example.
you mind if I jump in?
Yeah, go. Go ahead.
All right. So first and foremost, he's still advocating for total government regulation of industries, which is the thing that both me and AR are arguing against. Here's the thing: if let's say Bomb makes a leather bag, right? And Bomb, again, and I buy that bag from you, and the bottom falls out that bag. I'm going to tell your next customer this is the problem that I had with this bag. But in that same breath, let's say Bomb makes the best bag. I'm going to use that same voice that I could have used to dissuade somebody from going to say, hey, no, Bomb is actually fire because here's what she does and how she does her thing without government regulation to do the very thing that she's amazing at. The same voice that you can use to dissuade somebody from going is the same one that you can say, hey, I got an infection from this person playing in my hair.
Yeah, but
The government mandate is not necessary.
Hold on, slow down,
But-
y'all. So the issue is that when y'all try to change it to fit your argument and it doesn't fit is the issue. A bag has nothing
That's
to do with
perfect.
your-
No, Sharon, that's perfect.
No. Okay, then let's go
That's
because you
bad.
skipped the entire hair
No.
part that we said next.
No,
Even
I
the
literally
hair-
said the bit.
all right, so
even
just take out the
Oh.
bag part and stick
Oh.
to
Hair.
the actual,
Okay. Hey,
please.
I got this lady was playing in my head and my fucking hair fell out. Here's the exact person who did this. Why is the government regulation needed for that statement to happen?
Because
It isn't.
but
It isn't.
it is needed
Hold on.
because
Go ahead, Bob.
okay, because your hair may have fallen out, but the person before you and after you hair didn't fall out. So there gonna be some people who doing what they're doing now. They're getting online or wherever, and they're giving their advice on how it worked out, right? So you will be online talking about how your hair fell out, and other people will be on there saying how they did such a great job. And we'll never know if they're using the chemicals correctly or not, right? And we don't know if they're certified to even be using these chemicals, and that is why you need regulation.
There we
They
go.
get education. They don't just get regulated, right? With regulation come education. You get educated, and then these regulations come about to make sure that people are following them.
There we go.
So there's a difference between regulation and certification. If you can get certified to do something, I realize that you're licensed to be able to do this thing, and then the thing that happens, i.e. the fungus in my hair, happens, I will then sue you based on your licensing, right? But again, hold on. But again, y'all are saying that, oh, well, if I decide that, you know what, this person who's been doing hair, this old lady, this Meteors has been doing hair for 40 years, and everybody, but now all of a sudden she does something improperly. You're saying that if I sue her because she did something wrong, I'm now out of pocket because she's not following your regulation, despite the fact that she's been doing this one thing for 40 years. What we're saying is that the regulation is not necessary. What we're saying is even, you're saying, but you're literally penalizing me for choosing someone based on their experience versus based on your government mandate.
No.
Okay. Can I hit that back,
No,
please?
you're correlating things that is not being discussed on this panel right now.
Hold on, before you finish that, because I want to make sure I heard what Jeff said there. He said, and again, hey, we said, if you go to this person and they mess up, I will give you that $500,000 that lawsuit is worth. But if you didn't, and you didn't do what we said to do, we're going to give you $50,000 because the damage is still there, but it's just not worth as much because we didn't decide that person had made the ball. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I heard.
You enter that at your own risk, right? That's where the regulation part comes. Like, you know who has the skill set, because when it's regulated and you get the education, you know who actually has the skill sets to do things properly. You go to your grandma, hey,
you don't need regulation to get the education. That's what you guys are missing. You guys keep on tying education and regulation together. You can get a certification without the regulation. So you guys can stop. You guys got to stop tying them together. They're completely different things.
But you going to your hold on. You going to your grandma's house doesn't have anything to do with the industry.
That's fine. You don't get certified for one.
That's you going to your grandma,
and that's why I went specific, because you stopped me from doing it the right way the first time.
Hold on, please. This should not be an aggravated conversation. It really should.
I'm chilling.
I don't know why we
like everybody got to be right.
Right, that's the issue, right? We just passing out a conversation that was brought up about here, right? And that's how we need to hold on. I got you. And so we can regulate our own selves is what the issue is what the conversation needs to be about. It's us regulating ourselves so this way the proper people is maintaining the industry, benefiting off the industry, and pushing the industry forward. That's what the real conversation is about.
Wow. My thing is the regulation is not necessary.
Okay, I believe, and Sharon, if I may, since the man did call my damn name and what he was talking about, I'd like to respond if I could.
Can I go next? Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I go behind Bomb?
You're right. Wow, we all smart. That's
okay. So all right, so we go Uncle Jeff, Bomb Cherry, KT to go,
and then AR.
And
I'm gonna
AR.
get some food though. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Okay. And let's converse, brother, in this time, so that I make sure I get to what you saying, because you're making some points. I understand everybody here just want to kick you in the teeth for being wrong. And from there, not trying to reach you. I'm trying to reach you. What you're saying is that you went to this woman who for 40 years has been doing hair, and she did something wrong to your hair, and now you get nothing under my system. Let's talk about my system. That's wrong. First off, that woman that's been doing hair for 40 years has been given the option, because we have polled her neighborhood to find out. No, you keep your little finger down. It's my turn.
No, I'm listening to you. I'm just making a point. I'm pointing for myself. So
Okay,
hold on, don't do that.
Right on.
I'm doing that to make
well,
sure I'm
my
following
bad,
your
my bad,
conversation.
bro. My bad. I thought you was about to interrupt me. Okay, that sister that you were talking about, everybody that's been going to get their hair done for her for 40 years, bruh, she on the board. That sister's on the board, or she has been offered a position that pays her a salary for knowing what she knows about black hair, that has been bounced against every sister that knows somebody that is the best at doing this. So you, whoever you are working with that does not have a license from these people, bruh, do you see how that's on you? Every sister in the country has a say on this. Black men are out of it. We ain't getting fades here.
And also, shout out to the Cash App. Mind if I come up without coming up? Absolutely. You are more than welcome. If you're not able to, it is okay. I'd rather people that can cam up, but if you're not able to, it's understandable. Go ahead, Bomb Cherry.
Okay.
I wasn't done, bro.
Okay.
I thought we was talking. I tell you what, yeah, man. We could, bro. To be continued. What is a shadow? To be continued, bro. I ain't gonna get in the way of the show. Holla at me, bro. Let's talk about this for real.
Oh Lord.
We'll talk about it. I ain't got enough room. Go ahead, Bomb Cherry.
Okay, thank you. So some of y'all are very young and or you haven't gone into history, right? But there's been times before there was regulations on anything, and people would build their homes and they would add fireplaces, and then the fireplace would end up burning down their home and everybody home in their area. That's regulations come from that. How about the one with makeup, right? At one point there was women using I think it was the color green eyeshadow or something like that, and all these women went blind because there was no regulations on things like that. So then they realized, oh my God, people are using different things to make these makeups or medication or anything, and killing people or having them go blind. So that is the reason why we have regulations on many things. And hair, since hair is important to women in particular, for sure, we don't want to go somewhere and get our hair done and end up bald in a week. So you would want regulations on that, right? And not only you mentioned, now we're finding out that perm that we've been having for about 100 years, if not a little more, are causing women cancer and different things. It probably wasn't that in the beginning, but now they started adding different chemicals. So yes, you want regulations, and that's all I'm about to say about that. Go ahead, Sharon.
It's KT to go, and we're gonna bring up Venus right after. Go ahead, KT.
KT, before you go, would you mind letting Venus talk? Because she said she had to get ready for work, and she says she works in the beauty industry. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm not trying to be rude, KT. But because I know I don't know how long she got.
Go ahead.
Appreciate you, man.
Oh, real quick. Thanks, AR. So y'all talking about whether or not the government should be involved if you work in like service industry? Is that what the conversation is?
Sort of.
To me, it's not just service industry. Well, can I say, since I'm the one that's
sure. Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
It's not just the service industry. I would argue that the FDA has done more harm than good. So it's not just the service industry, but right now we are talking about hair cosmetology. But yeah.
Okay.
And that's not all of it. That's not all of it.
They would still be involved. They just wouldn't be the enforcer of, hey, this needs to happen at this time by this standard. So they would still be there to provide the third party enforcement, providing laws to force transparency and things like that. So they would still have a part, just not hands on as they are today.
That's still not all of it. The rest of it is that sisters like you, Venus, would be in charge of how much, when, and what every 100% of the regulations on black hair.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, that's what
you're
we're talking about.
No, we are not.
You I and you makes we. I and you makes we.
Anyway,
what we are talking about
my
today.
Position anyway. This
because,
is
yes, that's your position, and she heard your position. Here's mine: that black women and black women specifically should be in charge of all things black hair. That is all, and it should come from sisters like you. That is what, and that is who should regulate, and that is what we are also talking about. Go.
Okay, so I don't do hair. I'm a licensed esthetician, right? But very similar to cosmetologists. We have a lot of similar training. I'm for the government being involved because a lot of dangerous things can happen if you're not educated. Right. So one of the main things they focused on in beauty school for me was disease control, infection control, sanitation, right? Like the first 4 weeks was purely science. It was like a human anatomy and physiology class. Like we had to learn, because I deal with skin, right? Every bone in the face, every muscle in the face, every layer of the skin. When you guys look at like a perm or a skincare product and you don't understand that language, we're trained to understand we know exactly what those ingredients are, what they mean, right? So the government are the people who forced us to have to do that. So I'm for it, because if people are using chemicals on you and they don't understand how they affect your skin and they don't know exactly what's in those things, that could be very problematic. And the reason the law got so strict is because people were doing that, right? Like the whole, like I said in the chat, the nail salon, for example, a lot of people got foot fungus because either they didn't know any better or they didn't care, but the government had to step in. Like, hey, this is what you have to do in between clients. These are the industrial, what is it, like hospital grade. We have to use like hospital grade things just to sanitize you guys as anything we touch y'all with. Like to wipe off the bed, I have to use something called Calvicide. Calvicide kills tuberculosis, HIV. It's like we have to use hospital grade products. Like we're forced to, and those things are for your protection. So I think that's a good thing. And also for us, right? Like we have to be licensed, because you guys talked about like what if something went wrong. I'm sorry, not licensed. We have to be licensed, but also insured, right? So God forbid, God forbid I did something bad to somebody and they wanted to sue me. I have insurance as a licensed esthetician. They would pay that. I wouldn't have to. So I'm for the government being in. It protects everybody.
Okay, Venus, you're hired. This is what I'm saying. Did you hear this, sister? Did it sound like she was guessing about any of this shit? So in the esthetician lane, why not Venus on the board where she at? She don't need to be taught shit. That government you're talking about,
right?
Yes.
Learn, you know.
Well, no. This I don't think. I'm trying desperately to agree with you. What I am saying is that with what you know, and the people who taught you, and the people who taught them, that are black people, y'all need to be the government. What you say goes. You just laid out a bunch of shit that none of us knew. Why not you?
Venus, you there?
So we got.
Wow.
All right, so we got
to answer you. I'm sorry.
Yes. Why not you?
Well,
Venus, how much time do you have?
I don't want that responsibility. Number one.
Oh, okay. There you have it. Well, somebody like you. Why not somebody that know what you know? That's what I'm saying.
Well, because the industry is evolving all the time.
Okay.
Trends, different new products, new trends
Agreed.
constantly.
Absolutely.
And we have to
Hold on, let
go,
her Uncle Jeff, let her talk without
and we constantly have to go and learn from people who are experts in these things. So
that's what we pay you for.
Yeah.
That's what we pay that person for.
Okay, AR, you have some questions about the regulation part, and Shadow has some questions about the regulation.
Dang, can I get my because I gave up. I mean, I was letting her go because they were saying she had to hurry up. But
AR, you had a question about the regulation part. Shadow, you have a question about the regulation part. KT, I would get you in there.
I was just trying to see how much time.
AR wanted to talk about the regulations with somebody that is regulated. KT, go ahead, AR.
I will say in the South, it's horrible. New York is a lot better. Personally, in the South, they're way too involved in the beauty. The state board pops up at those girls' suites, because I had one, like once a week, looking for any little thing that they could find you about. Like, it is ridiculous in the South. I'm not gonna lie.
What a surprise! Not surprised at all. I was asking how much time you have. I know you said you were getting ready, so
I have like 5 more minutes.
I'll let Shadow or KT go. It's not enough time for us to have the discussion. But I appreciate what you're saying. And generally speaking, I mean, there's always going to be trade-offs with regulation. You always have pros and cons of trade regulation versus deregulation, and finding the sweet spot is the best thing to do. When I look at my industry, which is cyber and IT, there's not a crazy amount of regulation that we have, like industries I hear about, whether it be with going through the law school stuff with my girl, or what you're talking about with the beauty industry. It seems like with a lot of these industries, the government creates a monopoly, and they decide who gets to hand out what certificate and who gets to do this, who gets to do that. They stifle it a lot. Don't have that issue so much in cyber industry. So I wish more industries were more like mine, where you have a whole bunch of different private corporation or private organizations that then have their own standards, maybe set certifications and whatnot, that get respected based off of certain things, and we move forward that way. The stuff that you described, there's nothing that says that if the government wasn't involved, a beauty shop set up shop somewhere, and they said, hey, we followed this certification or this industry standard, and they told you, and then you followed that. If you agreed with it, you can look online and see the industry standard or the standards that they go by, and you can follow. If you don't agree with them, you don't agree with them. If you do agree with them, you go with them. I think that's the biggest thing. And to your point about it's always evolving. That is, it helps, because they'll always change that industry standard faster than the government will.
So you believe in regulation, is what you're saying?
I've always believed in. I always said certification, private corporate organizations and stuff. My issue was with the government, because the government creates a monopoly. Once the government says something, you can't go against it. If a private organization says something, someone else can start another private organization saying, hey, they don't do this thing right. They're adding products to your hair that are actually going to damage your hair over the long term. Here's a 20-year study that shows this, so you should follow our industry standard. But the problem is that you cannot compare the cyber world to a physical body. That's
what I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking that they're gonna be but think about it. We're dealing with humans, right? I could burn somebody's skin off. I could blind somebody doing their lashes. Like, no, I'm for the government being as strict as they are, because that's very different than dealing with data. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with you. I don't think you should compare dealing with the human body to data.
So what do you think happens if a network isn't secure? What do you think happens to your data? What do you think data consists of? It consists of your medical records. It consists of your social security number. It consists of all these things that if someone else found it, they would be able to impersonate you. So it'd be even more damaging in some sense than losing an eye or losing your hair, correct?
No, I don't think that most of the world views those things as the same. Yes, it will be detrimental to somebody steal all your money or mess up your credit, but it's not as detrimental as you can't see anymore. It's just two different things.
Okay. I mean, I agree to disagree. I think there's plenty of people that would say that there's a lot of data.
So you're right. So if you had a choice between those two, losing all your money because somebody scammed you, or losing,
I personally love being able to see. I love being able to see my girl. But that's not necessarily the conversation, right? It's about whether you want to have, if you have kids. I just answered it. I personally would want to keep my eyes. That's not necessarily. That's why we're having the conversation.
That we cannot compare those two, because
I've never.
Hold on.
What do you mean? You asked me a question while I was talking,
and you answered it.
I was literally talking and you interrupted me.
We didn't need elaboration because we all agreed that
I'm about to elaborate regardless.
Hold on. We don't need elaboration on if you choose your eye over something that happened to you cyberly.
I'm not talking about that right now.
So what we trying to get you to understand, you cannot compare the cyber world to a physical human being in a body, something that's going to affect them for the rest of their life.
And that's what I'm getting to. So maybe don't interrupt me this time.
When something happened to them, when something happened, I don't know why y'all. When something happened to you cyberly, that can happen in a moment, and you could forget about it, and you can get back to your regular life. That's normal.
Okay. So you can do that as well with hair products. You might go to someone and it damages your hair for a short period of time, and then you forget about it. And so far as you go, I won't go to them anymore, but my hair is good now 6 months later or whatever. So that bullshit that you're talking about, well, let me draw this comparison where you're blinded for life, but then you have this semi-damaging thing that happens in the cyber realm that only affects you for a month. Let's compare those two and ask you. Now, if you were to say something like, hey, this person stole your kid's social security number and they're 8 years old, for the rest of their life now, they're going to be using their social security number. Oh, well, I got to fix that. I'm going to go get another one. Well, you just said that cyber doesn't matter that much. Someone else takes the new social security number, and that goes on for the rest of their life. They are no longer able to do things that the average person considers doesn't even think about. They just recognize that they can do it. So to say like it's not that damaging or it's not damaging at all, or even if it isn't as damaging as you guys say that the hair industry is, it's still a level of damage that is still manageable without the government being super involved, which is the entire point.
Yeah,
all that stuff that you guys are talking about again can be set by private industry. And you're not saying it can't. You're just saying, well, I don't know if it can, and therefore it can't. You're just saying the government does it this way. This is why we should keep doing it that way. That's all you're saying.
No, we are not saying that. Stop saying.
That's all you're saying.
No,
that's all you're hearing.
Because that's not what was being said at all. And if you want to argue that point to be correct in this conversation at the moment, fine. You're 100% correct, because that's not what me and Venus was talking about at all. Venus literally said an eyeball. But anyhow, go ahead, KT, the GOAT, and then Shadow.
I think like we can come to middle ground, because what I constantly say with the nation, my little nation point is like self-regulation. Like that's what I believe in more than anything, and I think like it's governance and self-regulation. So we can admit that like we don't need the government.
Self-regulation from a man who smoked dope. Well, drugs. I mean, sold drugs. So we really preaching self-regulation for real? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gain that through experience.
You just described like Joe Kennedy.
Most politicians, like Obama, admitted to smoking weed and shit and like whatever. Anyway, but
did he admit to selling drugs?
No, you don't have to. Who cares?
Okay,
you learn things through experience. It's very easy to judge things when you don't even have any experience with it, I guess.
So
like, that makes it very easy. And listen, it's crazy because I've been quiet for a really long time. Y'all won't even give me 5 words before you just end over.
So since we're gonna dive into that part, can people taken some cannabis and had some chemicals extra onto their weed that they didn't know about?
What?
Yes.
What the heck?
Yes.
And that's why we need the regulation part. So this way people can have a understanding of a standard of what they are buying and not be guessing what they are buying. Go ahead.
You don't need the government to do that.
I'm about to say people don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. People bought weed before weed was regulated, and it wasn't like
did they know they were buying?
He's right.
And what you literally just explained is somebody getting their weed laced. So the weed itself wasn't a bad product that drove you insane or something.
It was the bad actor
something in there.
It was the bad actor.
And that still happens even with it being regulated, right?
I think we are arguing with y'all. We're not arguing with y'all.
I can't even speak. You just instantly interrupt me.
Slow down. That's all you gotta do is slow down. It's okay.
You gotta catch up sometimes. Sometimes you gotta catch up, brother. It ain't always slow down. You gotta catch up. Because I ain't even really say nothing like that, and y'all just got this instant thing where y'all like, nope, he talking, let me just interrupt, and he's wrong because it's him. Like, I really can't even speak, and now you talking about some wild.
I haven't said wrong. I think questions was
all I asked you to do. All I asked him to do was slow down so we could parse out this this thing that she right. I'm trying to slow down the conversation so we can actually build out something that he said
I
he
haven't
knows
even
about.
gotten to say
Understood.
anything
Hold on,
to
brother.
even
Hold on,
say
brother.
slow
Hold on,
down,
brother.
though.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Understood. But in all fairness, these are the events that transpired. Everybody here got some room to express themselves and be dead ass wrong, except this brother. He opened his mouth, and even me, to defend him, is in his talking space that I, just as a mild suggestion, I believe should be uninterrupted for at least 2 minutes. Is that okay?
No.
Oh, all right.
Because he said something, Bon Cherry interrupted, then they dived into that part. And then so now it's a part of this whole regulation conversation that we have it.
So he doesn't get
so stop. So somebody that is involved in it, he uses it and he says, according to him and Bon Cherry, he sold it before. So we could just dive into that world of it as well, because that is a part of the conversation of regulation and deregulation. Instead of him just talking about what he wanted to talk about, we could streamline it just the same way how we streamlined it with Venus, and we could streamline it directly into that world of buying and not buying, regulation versus not regulations. But he is so much defense, he think I'm trying to do something to him. Instead, like when I asked him a question, Uncle Jeff, you was able to just say, yes, that happened, so we could dive into it. And for some reason, you think somebody's trying to do something to you.
Only you've expressed that. I haven't said that once, and I'm not even insinuating you are. All I said was what factually happened. I said about 5 words. Somebody interrupted. I did not start making the conversation about
pause.
whether or
Did
not
anybody disagree with that?
market.
Nobody disagreed with that happened. I even agree with you that happened.
Yeah.
I just explained to you that it happened. Nobody is disagreeing that happened.
What's the problem then?
The problem is I was trying to dive into his expertise of the conversation.
Okay,
that wasn't what I was even talking about. I mean, I couldn't answer the first thing everyone else is
and that's the problem. You want to talk about something else that the panel itself want to dive into, but you are so self-absorbed that you want to just say whatever you want to say. I'm trying to slow it down and say, hey, look, this is a part of the conversation that people want to talk about with you, because they feel like you're somebody that can either detract it or add to that part of the conversation. But you
and they absolutely should. They absolutely should, but not in lieu of him being able to speak his mind on the first point.
I don't need help. I don't know why people think I need help.
I just disagree with you, bro.
That's fine.
I think the brother got done wrong, and I'm sorry I disagree.
That is fine that you disagree.
Okay.
Isn't it funny that he can interrupt and disagree with you, Sharon, but I couldn't interrupt what you call him to agree or disagree or to move
because the floor wasn't open. The floor wasn't open.
All right. I don't. Okay. Go ahead, KT. Everybody shut up and let him just ramble. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm good.
Go ahead. You have the floor.
I am okay. Like I've been quiet. I haven't interrupted anybody. You already said what you're projecting for me to do. So I understand what you see me as speaking in the conversation is. No need to do so for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll sit back and chill. Y'all can pass the conversation.
You have the floor.
He don't want to talk. Listen, KT, you gonna talk?
I don't need help. Please. You have the floor. Speak your mind.
I mean, yeah. I think it's self-regulation is possible for us all. Industries are built off of the folklore, I guess you could say, in a sense. Like black hair industry are built off people who, like Madam C.J. Walker, taking family, quote unquote, like family recipes and things that they were using to make products and then selling those things, unregulated things, you could say. Now I agree that like there are people that should be put in positions who are like the experts, who should be doing the governance, but we don't need the government for those people to do that, right? I think it goes back to what Baum was saying earlier, which is the indoctrination. Like a lot of us know that there's indoctrination. We admit that we're under some type of indoctrination, but we can't admit it's hard for us to look outside of how we've been indoctrinated. So like, I think that's a big thing with the government itself. Like how we see that we need government regulation because we haven't seen life without that, right? We think it's like, well, this is the best because this is how we've been living. But yeah, like they were saying, everything that has like the outside things that happen, they happen inside of these industries. The worst part with the federal branch coming in is that they tend to make industries out of even those mess ups in some ways, right? Like where they're supporting whole industries off of like improper fund usage and things like that, even kind of blocking people from financially suing them as much as they can type stuff, right? So self-regulation is just something I think we could do. We just got to kind of get out the indoctrination. That's it.
And with self-regulation, you don't think we would have more harm?
No, as I've said like earlier, I think like not earlier today, but like earlier this week, I believe in like being homogenistic. Like we care for each other more than we would like to admit, but I know that that's hard to do when we in like America. It's more than us. But if we're talking about like, I think that was what Jeff was saying, like having Black women run the industries of hair. And if we had Black faces running our industries, we'll just care for us more. I'm not saying it'll be perfect.
So
Nothing's
if
perfect.
Black women is running the industry, that's not self-regulation.
Right.
Yeah, no, that is if we're in a sense of
Okay,
like
so that's
we're
what, and that's what,
governing ourselves.
Okay, so that's where we missing the understanding, right? So we have a group of Black women that is running the industry. That is regulation.
Exactly.
I think KT is talking about white people regulate, like the same thing that you guys were talking about
You
earlier. So self-regulation is in self as in Black community self, not individual self.
Yeah.
Got it. He got it.
Is that what you're saying, KT? But your idea of self-regulation is Black people regulating?
Yeah, like Black.
Because when you were saying self-regulation, it sounded as if just people, not Black people.
No, I'm saying Black people. I like that.
Right.
That's what we've been talking about.
And so this is why I be trying to get into the conversation with you so you could streamline to what you are actually communicating versus what we can hear. But you think that somebody is trying to do something to you. All right, so go ahead. Go ahead. It was Shadow turn to talk. Go ahead, Shadow.
Well, Venus is gone, but one of the points I was trying to make is in a similar industry that I did in my beginning of college, I was in Montana. There's regulations in that industry that when I moved to Texas were different. I had to learn the regulation difference between Montana and Texas initially. I believe that my license, because I went to school for that thing, I was still able to do the very thing that I could have done, regulations or not. I understood that there's differences, but it's like AR was saying, people are profiteering off of these regulations. These same companies that are saying, well, these are the regulational standards, will also then make a company that sells the products for those regulational standards. If you're licensed,
it's not state to state like you're saying.
I land.
I just
let me also welcome into the show DJ Music. Good day, DJ Music. How's you doing?
Hey, what's up there, Sharon? Hey, everybody on the panel. Just taking a listen
What
to
up, DJ?
the conversation. Man, I gotta say, Sharon, brother, I don't know how you do it sometimes. I really don't. Education is fundamental. It really is. Some of y'all folks really need to go back and start over again. I'm not gonna call no names, but hit dogs holler. Some folks up there trying to reinvent the wheel. And even when called out on the very thing that they're talking about, y'all will find 40, 11, 50, 11 different reasons to still prove that you are right about something. I don't understand it. I'll speak directly to you, Uncle Jeff. You're supposed to be an elder in the community. You're an embarrassment to me. I'll just say that straight up. You are an embarrassment. You really are. You sound like a woman. You're always up here complaining. I didn't get my chance to speak. You talking over me. Yeah. If you're so much better than everybody over in this spot, if you think you're so much smarter than all of us, why are you here? Go and educate those folks that you feel that need to be less educated. Up here talking about woman's hair. If I think I saw you correctly, you don't have any hair. So you don't have a dog in the fight. But yet you're up here trying to tell black women what they should and shouldn't do. But if I go on another panel, you're the polar opposite. Make up your mind. Who are you? Stop chasing clout. Nobody really listens to you. If you read the chat, look down in the chat. Most people completely 100% disagree with you. You too, AR. Always yapping like a bunch of girls. A bunch of girls is what I hear up here. That's one of the reasons a whole lot of folks stop coming, because of you. KT the GOAT, yakking. Idle chatter is what my pops used to call it. Idle chatter, saying nothing, talking loud. You know what I'm talking about, Uncle Jeff. That's what y'all do up here. You don't come up here to as they say, make a solution. Y'all come up here to try and prove that man, this host, wrong every chance you get, or to try and prove PhD wrong while they run circles around you. Embarrassment. That's all I got to say about it. Now, if you want to come at me, be careful. I'm nice now.
Uncle Jeff, would you like to respond?
I certainly would.
Okay.
I don't remember meeting you before, brother. And I'm gonna have to question how long you've been watching this show.
So that puts you at a disadvantage, don't it?
Excuse me. I don't believe I interrupted you.
I don't.
Sharon, now this is on you,
I
bro.
don't play that.
This is on you.
I know. When confronted by somebody with that's really ready to confront you, that's what you'll do. Run in the corner like a little girl. Go ahead. Wrong guy. Just answer my question. Put you at a disadvantage, don't it? Because you don't know me, but I know you.
Sharon.
Why you blaming Sharon? Don't point at Sharon.
Yeah, don't run over to Sharon. Deal with me.
Bruh, I'm trying to give you the respect. I'm asking for the respect that I gave you. Well, I did earn it because I did not interrupt you.
Not for me.
Sharon is the host of the show.
Not
Sharon,
for me, you have
and I speak uninterrupted like I allowed this man. Yes or no?
DJ Music, can he get the opportunity to speak uninterrupted?
Not a problem, Sharon.
Again, I don't know how long you watched this show, but I haven't disagreed with Bomb Cherry. I haven't disagreed with Sharon. I haven't disagreed with anybody today except maybe AR. So I'm not quite sure what show you watching. But on this show, I mildly suggested, which I want to know what problem you have, with black women being in charge of black hair and fighting for that as black men. I called out black men today. I listened to what yes. Wait a minute. Are you breaking your own contract right now, bro?
We didn't have a contract.
We had a verbal contract that you would not interrupt me, and you are breaking that right now.
Continue.
I'm gonna try. Hey,
continue.
Bro, it can be what it is.
Continue.
No, I'm not asking for your permission.
You just
I'm asking for you to honor your own contract.
You just did. Go ahead. Continue.
All day today, I have come here with nothing but solutions. So my questions to you is, what issue do you have? Not with me. It's clear we don't like each other. It's clear. So to be clear, back to you, I would pet a puppy and watch you drown. I understand. So that we are on the same page. I am not done. You will know when I am done when I say that I am done.
What you said
do not have a contract, brother.
That's why I cut you off. That's why I cut you off, because you
cut me off because you don't have any self-discipline, brother.
No, because
you don't have any self-discipline. I listen to you malign me. I listen to you cuss me out, and I said nothing because let me take my headphones off since we're not.
All right.
Hold on.
By myself don't work here today.
All right. So before you go, DJ Music, do you want to allow Uncle Jeff to finish his full commentary, or got?
Sure.
These are the
And
questions.
before he goes, do you have something to say to him? So this way he could finish his commentary without being interrupted. Is it something that you want to say so he could address it? So this way you don't have to interrupt it in the middle of what he's saying. Go ahead now.
No, go ahead. I'll let him finish.
Slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see it.
Shit. Oh, and then also we got.
Don't provoke me to anger, or else you'll be in danger.
All right. Go ahead, PhD, but let me read a couple of super chats and then Uncle Jeff get to finish what he's saying.
All right, Ogun 618, $20. Kick the DJ off the panel. Let Jeff cook. A random independent, $20. DJ stays.
Messy ass. Go ahead, Uncle Jeff.
The questions I have, not for me. It's clear. It's clear. We don't like each other. Fine. Let's get to the issues we brought up today. I want to know what problem you have with a government of Black people that is Black people that know what they're talking about according to Black people. That is the overall topic for me today.
Are you done? Sir?
No, you will. I will say the words. I'm done.
You know, and
I
the
will
conversation.
say the word. Wow, we're not in a conversation.
Hold on.
We're not in a conversation.
Hold on. To be fair, you did kind of ask a question to make them think that it was time.
Sure.
For
all right.
Right. So let's address that question first. Let me go back a little bit. First of all, how do you know I don't like you? You only knew that because you just, according to you, you just met me today. So how do you know I don't like you and you don't like me?
Okay.
Am I to answer that? Well, oddly, the people who I interact with who do like me don't address me the way you did when you first came on the show. You this is what I got from it. You said hit dogs holler. You then went on to say things that you meant about me, but I didn't holler. So you turned directly and called my name. When you did, I didn't say anything. I allowed you to finish because of my self-discipline. There is a pile that I disagree with how you feel about me, and it ain't about you. This is an exercise for me in self-discipline to let this brother get his thoughts out. And when I get my turn, I'd like to get my thoughts out. And I thought the traffic cop for that was the host.
All right. Can I repurpose my 20?
Not yet. What'd you say, Nayo?
Can I repurpose my 20 or is it gone?
Because
I know for some reason, me and Miss J are somehow we overlap for once. But can I repurpose my 20?
I don't know how you're gonna repurpose. It was already used though.
Okay. That's what I was asking if I could repurpose.
You gonna rebuy your gas with the same 20 minutes?
I tried. So I already paid for my gas. So I was like, can I repurpose my 20?
Hey, I'm gonna go back in Macy's and rebuy this suit with the same 20.
That's the receipt for. I got a receipt in my email. It says, "Here's your receipt for your Google chat, your super chat." So I'm just asking if I could return it and get something else.
I'm finna go.
All right, hold on. Go ahead, beat the music. That was crazy, y'all, but it was funny at least.
Well, Uncle Jeff, to be quite honest with you, I don't disagree with Black women's autonomy. That's not my point. My point was coming up here addressing some of the things that you said, sir. Some of the things I pointed out. You asked for grace. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is one of the things I was pointing out. You're quick to say, don't interrupt me, but you're quick to interrupt other people. This is one of the reasons why I came up here.
Bro, I made a noise. Is that on the tape?
No. You was about to speak.
But I didn't. I stopped myself.
But you are now. Are now.
Because, and you know why?
Slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see it.
There you go. Sheesh. Go ahead, Piers Diva.
All right. Hold on. Let me blow it up. Miss J with the 40 ball. Kick off the fake comedian.
Damn.
Hey, what's up, DJ? Why I gotta catch a stray? What did I do?
Who am I speaking to?
He's talking to AR, man. You call me. You call me. I don't know what I did, man.
AR, because you agreed with Uncle Jeff. That's why you called it straight. It's called collateral damage, sir.
What did I agree with?
Get into it.
I agree with.
Nothing personal, but anybody that agrees with a circus clown, sooner or later, you got to know that something gonna happen to you.
Hold on. He was first of all, he was agreeing with me. I don't think I agree with anything he said. We were on separate sides.
I was just trying to give you grace then, since it was your idea. That's why I shot at you.
His idea and my idea are separate. His idea is the thing that you talked about with only black women have a say in hair standards in the black community and stuff. That's
no, I didn't say. I didn't say that at all. I never mentioned anything about the conversation.
And move on from there.
Right. I didn't, but what I was okay, AR, since you asked, you were talking about regulation and deregulations, all that. So let me ask you, are you trying to say that there's no regulations in the cyber industry, cyber community at all?
No, not at all. No, there's definitely regulations. I'm saying that it's less than a lot of these other industries I hear about, and I think this industry is functions a lot more efficient than these other industries, more creatively too.
So who is CISA?
CISA, I think it's the Cyber Infrastructure Security Agency or something like that.
And what kind of industries do they control?
Control? Like what are they?
What the regulations?
I think it's mostly like ICS and stuff like that.
Finance, education.
CISA does okay. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So they are major players, even though it's not government regulated, so to speak. That is a form of regulation, is it not?
But I'm not against all regulation. What I'm saying is that if you look at the cyber industry and you hear these other people talk about these other industries, for example, to even be a cosmetologist, you have to be like, or not cosmetologist, but when Venus was up here, or when Shadow was talking, I think it was just Venus, when she was up here talking about the industries that she's in, it goes from the state. To be able to do what she does, she has to get certified by the state, and the state has a monopoly over that. You know, when you look at law, the bar it's to get your bar license. Each state has its own bar. Oh, my bad.
Okay. Oh shit. Make sure. Hold on 1 second. Steven, how you doing? Steven, are you there? Steven? You want to come off mute, Steven? No, I guess not. All
right. Yeah, so like you have certain industries where to even practice in the industry, it's the state that dictates who gets to practice and what the standards are for the industry. In the cyber industry, you don't really have that, right? You have different industries that have to follow certain governmental standards, and I'm not necessarily against all of those. But when it comes to, let's say you want to be a cyber analyst, you want to do penetration testing, you want to do all these other different things, you don't have to be dictated by the government. There's a bunch of private organizations that you can get certifications for. And then a company says, hey, we respect that certification. We're going to allow you to come work on our networks. Whether you want to be a network engineer, penetration testing, red teaming, or whatever else the case may be. It's not the government dictating who gets to do that. It's private industry working within itself and people consensually agreeing on a contract. And that's all I'm talking about.
Right. But the government then dictate to them. Right. So they're being overseen by the government. So I know I had to take an A+ certification. When I became an engineer, I had to take certifications. I had to take many tests. And although you're saying that they're not controlled by the government, they are. There's oversight from the government to those schools and to the schools who give you the certs.
Well, CompTIA who gives you A+, a bunch of other certifications. I don't know how they're controlled by the government. They're all they are is a certification agency. They have a certification. You take the test, and that's it. There's no, from my understanding, there's no government involved.
But yeah, that's government oversight. They don't run the company, but they oversee.
Yeah, but being regulated and being
that's what I'm asking. What oversight do they give that dictates A+ or Sec+ or any of the other ones?
Well, they're gonna make sure that the education is on par to make sure that these people, when they go into the job industry,
that's education, not regulation.
Listen,
hold
I
on, hold on.
just said, and
Let her
listen,
talk.
don't if you didn't understand the words that I said, if they
No, but I understood
regulate and
clearly.
they
It's
oversee
education
to
and
make
regulation.
sure if they oversee that the education is there, that is regulation. You don't know what regulate means?
I mean, if we want to start talking definitions, we're talking about the regular
What you
regulation
mean
of
we're
it.
not talking about
We're
definition?
talking
That's
about
what
active
regulation
regulation.
means.
Well, okay, cool. Well, we're talking about
Okay,
the
cool.
active regulation of the
I have a
things that
Shadow,
are
why you?
post
Can she
license.
finish what she was saying?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
Shit, I thought this is the game we were playing. I thought
No,
this is how we were doing this shit today.
DJ and Uncle Jeff, man. I was trying to hear what she was saying because I'm not understanding, and maybe I'm wrong about the oversight thing. But to my knowledge, whether it be CompTIA, EC Council, SANS, the SANS not the best because they actually do have a college, but these other industry, these other certification, whatever you would be called, providers or whatnot, they don't have government oversight, and so I'm not sure. I'm not understanding that.
well, yes, they do have. Oh, I'm not sure about SANS, like you mentioned, but yes, when they have these, so you don't think education when there are, what is it called, y'all? Because you could go and go to a university that doesn't have what is it called? Diva, you said it the other day. You mentioned somebody. What's the word? You can go to a school that's not credible. I forget the term.
Accredited, yeah.
Accredited, right? So you know when a school get accredited, you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But CompTIA is not a school.
Okay, hold on. Before y'all go, hold on, y'all. Hold on. I have somebody in the back. Type in the back chat because we trying to understand why you here and why you trying to troll DJ Music. Right in the back chat so we can understand. And if you can, please change your name because we know what you're trying to do now. So if you
But he's
want
just going to change it when he gets on. So I don't even think I would let him on personally. But I ain't telling you how to run the show.
Okay. Yeah.
Clearly you are.
It's
My bad.
If I can just for a second, there, Sharon, see, this is the problem. This is why folks don't come up on these panels. If someone has a personal thing against me, that's one thing. But just because I came up here and addressed Uncle Jeff in a harsh manner, somebody decided to go and find some information about me. What are you going to come and put? You going to put my picture up? What are you going to tell them? What are you going to say? What's the purpose of coming up there using my government name? For what purpose? Right. What is your reasoning behind it? Yeah. Uncle Jeff is a grown man. Uncle Jeff is a grown man. If he has a problem with me, let him speak his piece. What's the purpose of going to find something about me to defend Uncle Jeff?
Yeah.
What's
the argument?
Nothing. So why? Why?
All right. The person dropped. I believe Diva, you want to talk about the education regulation thing as well?
No, I was just trying to ask a question because I stepped away. So I was wondering, and I know it's related because I've heard people mention the hair again. But how did we go from, the hair? Black women had an opportunity to institutionalize, black hair or whatever, to regulation.
Because AR's on his other half, and his other half he doesn't want any regulation.
That's why we need to keep him out of a lot of these conversations. And see, this is the thing with black people, we don't understand how to rack and stack. But see, y'all got me here, and I'm the head gatekeeper in charge. This is all I do. I was born to do this, so y'all need to let me do it. AR to the back.
Oh, that's crazy. Hey, repurpose my 20. Repurpose my 20. Hey, keep me up here, man. No, I do think it's kind of ironic because I actually think it's the opposite. Where more, we don't have to get. I wanted to ask John Cherry a question. Maybe we can get back to that. But John Cherry, let's just say I was correct and that these certification providers and these organizations don't really have any government oversight, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say they just issue the certification.
The reason I was asking, right? See, because we kind of drifted. We was talking about black people being able to institutionalize some shit and have a corner a market, and now y'all talking about cybersecurity regulation. What the fuck does that have to do? You know what I'm saying?
No,
so the reason we're talking about the underlying just regulation thing is because most people on the panel believe that you need to have that minute, that what's it called when a boss is being overbearing, micromanaging government regulation to succeed or for industry to be safe and people want to use it. And the very minority of us up here disagree with that. And so that's what we're talking about, generally speaking. And since I don't know a whole bunch of other industries, I can only talk to my own, and I see how my own operates. I try to relate it to that. And so that's why we're talking about cybersecurity. And
But that's how Black women, right? The Black women will be able to control it if we, and PhD was said this, right? When there was women went and got the laws changed, if they would have cornered it a little differently, made it to where everybody got to go through their school, through them, in order to keep control of it, right? So that's why I am for the regulation, right?
But if that regulation had never occurred, then there wouldn't have been an issue in the first place, right? Black people still, they could have created their own, they would have had their own, again, these companies that create these industry standards. And you can have Black women at the head of those organizations. And if they are the best, then people will follow those industry standards, and they will go to the shops that follow those industry standards. You don't need the government involved.
Well, the government is already involved in that area, right? So again, if you want to just be the hair washing girl or person, you have to have a license.
Yep. And that's my issue. That is 100% my issue. You shouldn't need a license for that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with requiring a license, because then you force people to have to learn certain methods. And if we run in all the schools, then no issues, right?
Right.
But like one thing that I was thinking, and y'all, so that was something we could have done, right? That's in the rear view. Are there any opportunities that anybody has seen for us to do something like that that exists now?
Where the Black community uses the government to create regulation that
Not necessarily
puts
using the government. And see, this is the other side, right? Because we're having a holistic conversation, but you getting hung up on one little thing. But see, that's how y'all are. And this is why.
it's because that's what I heard, man. You guys were talking about the industry, it became regulations. Instead of taking that and making regulation only Black people can practice this or have the schools that teach this, it allowed every school to teach it. And so that's all I was asking. If you're talking about just, the Black community taking it and doing like the cyber industry has, where you have a whole bunch of different private organizations that set their own standards and people choose which of those.
What happened? What happened? You on mute.
You know we didn't hit 100 likes.
Oh, okay.
How crazy.
How many people? Oh, all you had to say was, excuse me, baby. Don't try to run me over. Freaking weirdo.
How crazy is that? I don't even really be understanding it, to be honest. Like, why I gotta be that difficult?
How many people in here?
For Black folks to support Black, like the whole panel is Black. The whole channel, we talking about Blackness. We ain't talking about no gender banging. We ain't talking about gossip. We did gossip yesterday. We didn't even really do gossip yesterday, actually. Blackish. No, it's not very good. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep making it seem like I'm supposed to accept less than. Why, Diva, why you think it's okay for people to make me seem like it's okay for me to accept less than?
I think that's just generally how we interact with one another. So don't take it personal.
Oh, I'm taking it personal. Every day I ask for like, they're like, well, you got 10 likes. I'm like, that's better than Keisha. I don't give a damn about Keisha. We got 150 people here for over 3 hours. We hit 200. We've been live for over 3 hours. We hit all the way up to 200. 100 likes is not enough. And the only reason why we got to 100 is because I brought everybody down. We should have more. I don't know why y'all think that is okay for me to accept less. How many shares you think we got today, Diva?
At least 25.
We got 0
Oh.
for the week.
Oh.
Also last week as well. Like, what is the issue? Why y'all always want us to accept less? I don't understand it. What is this? What is this? There's one thing we wasn't mentioning it throughout the show. And why is it that, yeah, I gotta cry because y'all not doing y'all part? Because I think the problem is people only see what they see and they think that's what it is, right? We got 130 people right now. And y'all think because whatever you see on your page, that's what it is, and therefore you need to comment and say, no, that's what it. Why do I gotta accept? Can somebody please explain to me why I gotta accept less? The other one, Diva, you want me to drop it?
Yes. Or you can leave it in the bag. It don't matter.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to accept less. I just want to put that out there to you.
So how come they always want me to just accept it? I do not understand that for the life of me. Yeah, it's just weird to me. I don't get it. How that song go, PH Diva, by Cody's favorite song by Fantasia? You remember? Okay, if the viewership is dropping, what can I do to change that? Right, because as soon as you start asking for them to participate, that's when they want to drop. So you mentioned that. I don't know. Cody, what is that favorite? How your favorite song go? Now everybody gonna tell me why it ain't up. Cody, what's the name of your favorite Fantasia song? I just want to know the name of the song, Cody. Bonche, you remember Cody's favorite song by Fantasia?
No, he started singing
When
it.
I see you?
Huh?
Was it When I See You?
The other one.
If you don't want me, don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. Was that it?
Yeah. If you don't let me, don't talk
Yeah,
to
he
me.
liked that part. When she go to church, that's his favorite part. He turn up.
What's the name of it?
If you don't love me, then don't talk to me.
Free yourself.
The name of the song is Free Yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, the name of it is Free
Oh,
Yourself.
okay.
That's the
Why
part
black
that I
people
know.
always think the name is the chorus?
That's it. I don't know why people be trying to you know what I'm saying? That's how it's
If you
supposed to be
don't want me,
named.
then don't talk to me. That's the name
All
of the
right.
song. That long ass name. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
That's what the name's supposed to be, KT. I don't care what nobody's saying.
Nah, I ain't disagreeing. That's just a Carolina girl, you know. I remember.
Oh shit. It is what it is. Y'all can get back to your conversation. We made it past 100 likes. Y'all can get back to it.
Well, no, I was just asking if anybody sees any other places where there's an opportunity for us to do something like that.
Other than the hair industry?
Yeah.
That is just strictly about our own blackness.
So an opportunity for us to go in and have something that specifically is tailored or targeting us, and we control that industry.
Shit. I don't know. I wouldn't I don't know.
Well, and so that's the thing. It's one of the most, I guess, important lessons I ever learned was I said it yesterday, but people probably, went in one end, out the next. Dr. Amos Wilson, when he said the purpose of education or any type of knowledge is to help you solve your own problems.
Well,
We
I
got a
think
lot of degrees out here, but we don't have a lot of people who can think. And that's a problem.
Well, a lot of people don't want to think, Diva. They want to complain and they want to make fun. They want to have jokes.
But the problem is, if
They
I
don't
wasn't a
think.
part of this group, it wouldn't be no issue. But right, absolutely, y'all can do whatever the fuck you want to do. But I'm a part of this group, and I am not less intelligent, less anything than anybody else. And so I have a problem being attached to people who comport themselves as if they less intelligent or less whatever than somebody else.
I agree. I understand. I understand it fully. And I be trying to fight it. I be trying to combat the nonsense, the remedial rhetoric that a lot of these people want to try to take on, but they want to fight. They don't want to go to the water. They don't want to go to the water. I don't know what to go ahead, KT.
Nah. I ain't got.
I don't know why they don't want to go to the water. We see it all the time. People will talk about it, but every time when we attempt to show them where the water's at, they don't want to partake in that. It's just what it is. I don't know what that means, to be honest.
I mean, it's like
they're against education. You got to understand when you're talking to a group of people who are against education, they want to fight everything you say. And it's hard, I find it to be difficult. Sometimes I'll be wondering if my kids are stupid as some of these. I ain't gonna lie, because I realize I don't have the conversations I have with my sons that I do on these panels. And sometimes I'll be wondering, I wonder if I go ask them, about government oversight, what they think about it. I wonder, do they even have an answer? So I'm gonna start slipping in some little conversations about that type of shit. Because maybe, like, I don't understand a person who was against the law breaking the law a lot of their life, then claim that they think other people will control themselves and self-govern themselves, right? But we know they should be the ones who know for sure that people can't self-govern themselves. Because at one point they wasn't even following the laws without government oversight. But everybody don't have that experience, right? Everybody. So somebody like myself, I might be able to say, well, yeah, I feel like people can self-govern, but I don't, right? I know that due to history, people will take advantage if they can.
Yeah. And speaking of people that
go ahead.
Speaking of people that that didn't self-government and wrote the law and was doing criminal activities, AR, would you like to speak for yourself?
Jesus. What's up? My bad.
Stuff in his face now. What you over there cooking?
I'm eating cereal.
Go ahead, KT. I know you want to.
I was cooking when I was talking, so that's why he stopped the show. I know everybody wanted to hear what I had to say, but he threw me off my game. I went to get some food.
All right. So, but while he's stuffing his face, go ahead, KT, to go.
Nah, I mean, self-governance is something that happens through all those against the law systems. Like, it still rules outside of the governance of law itself. That's why I understand that it can be done. Even a lot of the industries, like I was saying earlier, they're built off of things that we were literally saying that's illegal, that's not right, you shouldn't do that. People made industries, moonshine to be a good example, right? Like, it's legal at this point. Like, you can literally find it in liquor stores and stuff, right? But this came from when they said you can't do that. They built an industry outside of that, which they shunned, and then they legalized it. Now they don't shun it. I'm just saying, it's like.
Do you think making moonshine was the thing that was against the law? Or do you think that selling alcohol or that moonshine was against the law? Which one was against the law, KT?
Well, both.
No.
Yeah, because the moonshine wasn't regulated. Like, again, it even goes back to some regulation.
You
but
was
they
always
had their own rule set, right? Everybody knew.
You was always able to make alcohol throughout history, as you put it, moonshine. The thing that was against the law was the selling of it.
Yeah, that was the main thing. I mean, because that's what prohibition is.
That was the only thing, was selling it.
Okay.
People was always making alcohol in their home.
I'm not disagreeing there, Paul.
Okay, but that wasn't against the law. That wasn't the part that was against the law.
Okay.
And so when you say people, making moonshine, yes, people was making their own alcohol, wines, moonshine, whatever you want to call it. It was the actual selling it that was against the law. So I don't like some things you say that people say. It's like you don't understand.
It's like you a lot of times I feel like y'all be saying this thing where it's like you be listening just to talk, like, or something like that, right? Because it's like, I'm not arguing what was wrong. I'm saying the industry came out of something that arose when they were saying don't do that. And then the industry came out of that, and then they legalized it. And then first they shunned people, they jailed people for it.
What did they legalize? What did they legalize?
Moonshine.
No.
Yes.
So that's the part that you missing. So they legalized it to sell it, to the taxation of it, not the alcohol itself. They didn't care if you make the alcohol yourself and drinking at your own home. Is when they started selling it across the state.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not arguing against that, y'all.
You did just now
all I said was it's an industry that appeared when prohibition was happening. Moonshine would be that, right? They first said we're going to lock y'all for doing that. I'm not talking about what's the reason exactly. As Jeff was saying earlier, y'all just forgive me for not being precise on anything. Okay. But I'm saying industry arose.
What
in
industry?
The time where they moonshine, stuff like this. Things of that nature. That's one of the things that they seen were selling heaviest in the time of prohibition. Yes, many people were making malt liquor, hooch, all of that stuff, right? But they seen one of the most productive and lucrative parts of that industry was like moonshine and rum. And then they arrested people for that for a really long time. And then they said, well, no, we figured out somewhere where we can
Dude,
quote
you
unquote
are wrong.
regulate.
Listen, the way you're telling your story is all messed up. It's because you don't know the story. It's okay though, because you keep saying they. It was all about taxation, right? When just like gambling, right? Gambling has been going on forever, but then they decided, hey, we can allow gambling and then we can tax it, and then the state can make money off of it. But they didn't, so this thing where you said moonshine became legal, when moonshine was never really illegal to make. Just like going in your yard.
Nobody's arguing if it's illegal. That's what I'm saying. Where y'all, it'd be a weird thing.
You don't listen to what you say. Never mind.
I know what I'm saying. And I said I apologize if maybe that ain't that part, because that's not my conversation. Like, I'm just saying that an industry arose from that. It's
the
legal
industry
now.
of what?
Of selling moonshine. Is that what you were like? Selling moonshine.
Okay.
Selling rum. People were arrested for it, and they said, this is bad, y'all shouldn't do this. But then, like you just said yourself, once they figured out a way to tax it and regulate it, now it's okay, right? But that industry thrived long before they did, on a basis of basically community and self-regulation.
They regulated. You know why? Moonshine is something very strong, right?
And it's dangerous.
Right. It could be dangerous, the percentage of alcohol that's made. And that is something that they regulate also. But if you go buy moonshine, most of them people can't tell you the percentage of alcohol.
And one of the things that is highly flammable.
Yes. They used to run cars off of alcohol, that moonshine that they used to make.
For sure. Yeah. I'm just pointing out again. I'm saying
so regulating
they make industries all
so
come from things that started off in self-regulation.
Do you see the
positive? So let me understand your argument, KT. So the problem is that what is the issue that you have with it? So this way we can understand your argument, because I'm confused about your argument.
I'm saying most industries that we have today in America came from some basis of a like unfederal but community based or people based self-regulation, right? And then now the government for a while on most ends, they vilify that, right? They say what you're doing isn't right. They go against it, and then they figure out some way to tax it and quote unquote regulate it. And then they then get into that industry and really kind of, like somebody was pointing out earlier, they'll even invest into those industries. Or you'll see people who are like on the regulation board for food.
So are you against regulation?
No, I'm for self-regulation. Like I said, more self-community based regulation. If we're talking about
so now the self-community part, when they was self-regulating, it was bad actors. There's no way to understand who's the bad actors and who's not until it's too late.
No, that's even with regulation. That's first of all. The second thing would be, it really always has been, like Shadow said earlier, that would be the word of mouth. Like, community is something that's always been something. So you hear somebody die off this moonshine, of course people know somebody died.
So how would you stop it from it being dangerous?
Well, no, like I say all the time, nothing's absolute. You know what I'm saying? I can't lie and say we got something that gives them 100%
So them regulating it, did that stop it from being dangerous?
No.
Can I ask him a question?
How's it not stopped it from being dangerous? It's not people's houses are not blowing up anymore.
What?
People houses are not blowing up. People are not catching on fire. They're not just you could just make whatever kind of mix you want. You got to have a regulation on how you make it. So this way it could be a certain percentage, 40%.
No, look, he's saying it like most people were trying to make moonshine, house blew up or something.
Yes, it did. Yes.
No, it did. Most people who made moonshine, house blew up. That's what you really saying up here right now.
Listen, if you make moonshine in an enclosed place, it will create ethanol and it will blow up.
Like, not like a bomb, but it could cause a fire.
Yeah, because I get what y'all saying. I'm talking about most people who made moonshine. Are we saying that they blew up places when they made moonshine?
And okay, hold on. So regardless if it was most, some, or a few, does that make a difference?
I mean, the thing is, it's not happening. It wasn't ever like a problem. That's what I'm saying. You're bringing it up. It's kind of like a moot point.
Is it a problem now that people that are distilling, do they have fires?
Not those that are in like buildings and
Regulations. The
stuff.
ones
No.
that are regulated now, do they have fires?
Yeah.
What?
Where? You
Do
didn't
they
even know
blow
it
up? I
caused
mean,
fire.
like, what are you talking? That's what I'm saying. It's
Hold on,
weird.
so
Like you're making
I need
assumptions.
to understand. You asked were the majority of people that was creating these moonshines where their houses burning up. And I'm asking you, in today's time, are we hearing stories of distilleries burning down?
No, you I don't like. What stories historically do you know about distilleries burning
Just answer
down?
the question. So one of the reasons why they had the regulations because of it being flammable.
No, see this. No offense. This goes into what I was saying earlier. Is the
Can you answer the
indoctrination
question
part,
so we
right?
can so right? If that's why I asked you, does it matter if it's majority or minority? You said no, it doesn't really matter. Correct?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's always
So
gonna happen.
even if it was only 5 houses that burned down for making these things, today, do we have that same number of distilleries burning down?
No.
Okay, so therefore that regulation did
but
correct.
they even down to
Hold
that.
on.
That's what
So
I'm saying.
therefore, or can we conclude that regulation did stop from buildings and people being in danger from fire?
No, because that's what I'm saying. This is the indoctrination point. Because you can show me nowhere where it's like these are the counts of unregulated but counted distilleries of moonshine that burnt down due to no regulation from the government. Like
All
you're
right,
making a
so one of
comparison
the-
that's like a moot point, right?
No, you just
Because
don't.
you
maybe
don't need a
understand.
distillery to make
To
a
make
moonshine.
alcohol?
That's how most people
Yes,
made their
you-
moonshine.
But what does that have to do with the question to begin with? I was asking about other and so what are you suggesting that we start making moonshine in our backyard?
No, Diva, I'm with you. Listen to me. They didn't got on me about whole other shit and taking this to the corner. Like I'm not.
Yeah, because
they
we're trying to
get
get you
stuck
to
on,
have
like,
a clear thought, right? And
I've
y'all do
already
not,
had the clear
and so
thought, and I keep making it.
hold on. So no, you do not have a clear thought because you're not understanding how things work. And this is why we can never get to the part where we can all be running with Diva. Because people cannot think. They correlate things that have nothing to do with anything. And then if we keep allowing everybody to keep just having these random thoughts like squirrel, we can never get people to start running with Diva.
But you're the one starting a side tangent before I'm even getting the answer or talk and then you saying, listen, you saying, well, break this down so I can
I want you
understand.
to talk
Hold
about
up,
this
listen.
topic, but you're going to talk about the conversation.
All right, now you want me to talk about the topic. Well, okay, back to the topic. I'm just saying self-regulation is something that we, like all industries in America, are built up off of. So we can make things outside of self-regulation.
Like what?
Go ahead, Diva. You wanted to jump in? Go ahead, because he think that he cooking. He think that he got it. So go ahead, Diva. He thinks self-regulation is how we do it. Go ahead, Diva. I don't know.
No, I'm saying, so like, what is it? Okay, self-regulation in what?
I mean, that'd be anything that we choose. Like, asking me.
And so I'm asking what
Stop,
we
we're talking
choosing.
about
That is the
community
question.
things.
My God.
Jesus.
Talk for 50 minutes on self-regulation when I'm asking a specific question. Where?
She wants a specific example, KT.
Any industry that we would like to get into.
Okay, but can you name a specific industry?
Idiot.
That's what they're asking. Like music. Say rap music, for example. You could say rap music.
Right, they can't say that though because they created that and then ended up in the losing position. Right, and at some point we got to start having conversations about that, right? How y'all always end up in the losing position when you got to go up against that other man, and so, but part of the issue, and this is what I'm saying, Black men, please stay in school, go to school. It's valuable to be able to learn how to think in a straight line.
And vote
It
too,
really
she
is.
said. She said, make sure y'all vote.
I didn't say that at all.
Definitely vote, especially in your local elections.
Yeah. Again, if you want to know, like a certain industry, I'm only saying like that would be a moot point because You acting like I'm offering the solution via saying like what industry we should get in. All I'm saying is we don't need
We had
government
the
to
conversation
regulate.
started when I pointed out, something that I had said previously,
Diva,
in
you
that
left. They got
New
on this
York,
thing about
right?
how I was just saying we could govern it in ourselves.
Okay,
But
all right,
this is
child.
just now while I was speaking.
So at this point, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and concede. Y'all are less intelligent. They was right the entire fucking time. Y'all are less intelligent. It just is what it is.
KT, you gotta stop smoking, man. I'm telling you, man. I just would like to see a sober 30-day KT. Like, I would like to see how your mind operates without, the after effects of marijuana.
It is confusing because even if the conversation did change, which it did, when Diva came back, she asked the question to put it back. And now you want to explain to her that it changed, and like we not
No,
understanding.
I'm explaining that I never offered the solution by saying this is the industry we should get in or anything. I literally started talking, and when I did, y'all went into this whole
It
self-reliance
wasn't
point.
about
So I
what
was
we
just
should
speaking
or
to that. That's
shouldn't
it.
do. I asked where there's an opportunity. Where
And then I
do
literally
you
said
see an
any industry
opportunity?
we can make
Okay, but that's
outside
not
of
any
regulation.
industry isn't really an answer. So go ahead. If all you could tell us to do is y'all just be outside the law until they finally legalize it, then that's not really anything of value to most people. So thank you for playing, but try again next time.
What is your offer then?
I'll try to give
How
an
can
example. Diva.
no, wait a second, Diva. What is your solution? What's the offer you have for the solution? If you're saying that I don't have anything, and that's what I'm saying, I never said that I had the solution, right? So
Right.
that's all I'm
It's not
pointing
even
out.
about
Like,
solutions. I was just saying, where do we see an opportunity where we can go in and create our own thing and corner a market? That's all I was asking.
yeah, no, like again, so that's what I'm saying. If I'm not saying that I have the solution, right?
It's
But
not
all
about
I'm
a
saying is,
solution. It's where do
listen,
you see opportunity? Can you see opportunity?
literally, it's an opportunity and everything, and you're getting mad at me
All right.
saying that.
But okay, please stop
Like,
talking to me.
it's an
'Cause I just think
opportunity
that's
to.
a ridiculous response.
Okay.
Please just stop talking to me.
Okay, so like,
Okay,
this
so
is
what would your response be? That's
what
what
you
I'm
mean is
asking
this,
you.
like, so
Because you're very smart and educated. You said that I'm of
so
lower
one of
intelligence
the
level.
things that y'all could have done was
You are.
y'all could have cornered the weed, y'all could have cornered the weed market, y'all could have cornered the rapper weed industry, y'all could have cornered those things, right? Because at one point people was buying weed that was so-called designer that was called the rapper weed. Y'all didn't corner that.
But isn't that a
didn't
bad
corner
example because
hip-hop.
she just talked about that would be an illegal thing to corner. She's not looking for the illegal thing to corner, right?
No, so the thing is that they didn't even do that. They're not even cornering the illegal thing that they are known for.
Well, how do you corner an illegal thing?
The white folks figured it out. They cornered alcohol, they cornered hip hop, and they cornered weed.
Those aren't illegal things.
Via the federal government.
Alcohol, music, and and what was the last thing you said? Weed, or they're not illegal. Well, weed is not illegal by some states, but right. So the issue is that if you're not voting to make sure there's representatives there to not get in your way, then you're not going to be able to corner a market, regardless.
Whatever steps you need to take. The problem is that
just want to make sure we vote. That's all.
Okay, and I think that's another thing that we do be having an issue with. People just like that's what you wanted to say. Just say that. But
I'm serious though. Like, how do you corner a market if the representatives are always working against you? Because we all fall under the laws and the and the policies and the statutes and all that that the government passes. So I think that's part of the problem is that you can't corner a market when the government is working against you, because they can always just say, no, you're not allowed to do that anymore, and then take you to jail. I personally don't. The example I was going to give was again, I was going to say music, because although
we already lost it.
I understand.
We lost the country music, we lost soul music, we lost R&B music, and clearly we are slowly losing hip hop.
Yeah, I think is there a way where we could gain
that's
it
that's what I was going to get to. I think that no. Why is it a no?
I mean, I'm saying like the asset isn't the industry itself, it's the people who produce the industry, right? So the artists do have the power. Now, we've never owned the industry that you talking about like it's spelling in rap, right? Like it's never been ran by majority of like black ownership or nothing. So even what we talking about, like it's falling in these.
So how do we do that now?
Well, first of all, we'll have to literally just stop selling. Like that would be the first thing. I know people want to say, well, we got to make money, and I agree to a certain extent, but sometimes you got to starve today to feast tomorrow. So it's kind of like, look at the old record rappers, right? What they used to do is like make a bunch of mixtapes and hold out before selling because that gave them some point of leverage. Well, the talent levels, let's say like J. Cole, for instance, people don't know this. J. Cole is no longer under any label, period. Like he's an independent artist and whole. That's why he was doing like his latest album. He sold 200,000 copies, but he was selling like literal CDs to people for $2, $1, just
Those
in your city type stuff.
Yeah, but those didn't count as the 200,000.
No, yeah, it does. It counted in physicals.
No, they do not.
It did because it's what he count like it's still part of his distribution deal because he does have a distribution deal, but whatever, neither here nor there. I'm not even trying to get into little things. I'm just saying that he's an independent artist and he still was able to sell a good portion of music. Kendrick Lamar, Drake, all these people that we look at as the big three, right? If they just said, we're no longer dealing with the labels, we're going to make our own independent labels, they still have that position of popularity. Now, do they have that industry push where they're saying, hey, put this on the radio more? Nah, but again, this goes to me saying earlier, making industries outside of what is being regulated. Like pirate radio is one of the big things that helped us in music, right? Like we need to start bringing back things like college radios, like Biggie and all them blew up because of going to like Hampton and even like A&T and shit. Like a lot of them were already played on these college radios and stuff. So
you think you think somebody could still blow up off of college radio today?
Yeah, I think so. If we gave it more dominance again, like that's the thing. We are the people. We give every industry its position. It's whether or not you're going to support it.
People listening to radio like that now.
College radio
like that.
No, I never said they are. I said they could be in that position again. That's what I'm saying. At one point in time, we did though. So
okay, how are we going to get people to start listening to college radio again?
Well, we have to go back to
college. Check that college.
The issue though is that the college radio station is ran by the college, right? So now if we start saying we're not going to deal with none of these record labels no more. So first off, how do you get your music on these platforms? Because most music is streamed these days. That's the distribution, right? The streaming platforms. You don't have one of those. And so what if the streaming platforms just say, okay, well, then we ain't fucking with y'all, right?
Yeah, no, that's...
Even if they do, and you get to, okay, let's try to get into college radio stations. It's about, I think it's 104 still, HBCUs, maybe. Do they all have a radio station? I don't know. But then when we're talking about the other colleges, what makes you think? Okay, so now you done already said we ain't messing with these record labels, which is they people, and so why wouldn't they say, okay, well then we ain't messing with you?
No, it's not saying they people. Even like and I will admit, let me say
Right.
HBCU
The
radio.
people who are over the colleges are tapped in with influential people.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they aren't.
And so if y'all not messing with them, then what would be the incentive for them to mess with you?
Oh no, you get paid more. Like it's really simple because you're no longer the middleman. You're actually the plug at this point. Like we're saying, forget the industry.
Who? The college radio station?
Yeah, like or even like I was saying, pirate
Right,
radio.
but okay, so this is one thing that y'all have to understand. Your values and them other folks' values ain't the same. They don't do anything for money. They will take an L with regard to money to uphold a principle. For example, several years ago, Tariq Nasheed was raising money to do some type of music. He wanted to buy a building. He had enough money to buy one of those buildings. He put in an offer. The people looked at the offer, turned down the offer and then accepted a lower offer from some other white people. I don't think y'all understand. I don't really think y'all understand the situation we in and who we dealing with. And these people, and that's one thing, they'll take an L to uphold that principle. Y'all will not, right? And that's how they always able to get you or to infiltrate what you got.
Yeah,
Because you'll do anything for money.
David,
I'm telling that all the time. And you know some examples of that
white people
is
hold up, wait
baby
a second.
fat.
Are white
Listen, wait a
people
minute. I'm about to give examples where they purchased for more than it was worth black companies just to tear them down.
Oh yeah.
They do it all the time because they know that when we have businesses, corporations where you can hire people and you can influence the music and art, the way people dress, they know that's powerful. And they purchase those companies for more than they were worth. And now you don't hear from those companies anymore.
Yeah, I literally started this by saying like we shouldn't sell. And I even gave the example.
No,
of
that's
how,
not
like,
you're not even
artists used to-
understanding what she's saying. She's not talking about selling. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about how like it's not a principal thing. Like I mean, not
The point that we're making
monetary
is
thing.
you ain't gonna be able to get day colleges to.
I'm not talking about day colleges. Why do you think I will be talking about white colleges? I'm talking about HBCUs. Like I said, like this is how
Okay, but you
most
see
of the rap artists
whole
came. This is
the huge problem that poses, right? There are only 104, I think, HBCUs, and all of the HBCUs, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3, are congregated in the Southeast for the most part, or the South period, but mainly the Southeast. Okay,
Yep.
and so then what about the rest of the country? They don't get to hear the new Kendrick drop, and Kendrick from California, I'm sure they want to hear.
This where the pirate radios come in. Like you can, like like a pirate radio is a big culture of things that existed and really helped even rapping itself. So that's what I'm saying. It's things that we already watch work, and then we're
pirated radio stations.
Yeah.
KT, we could barely hold on. Listen to what you're saying. We could barely get up out of the 1,000 people that already watched the show, we could barely get 100 likes. And then if I ask for it, people will complain, oh, Sharon asking for likes. And you think we're gonna get the 104, we're gonna get at least 1,000 of them to participate in listening to radio? All of us.
Music ain't Sharon's show. That's just being honest. Like music is a more diverse thing and lots of people like it. You know what I'm saying? And depending on whatever you got going, that's why they have thrived before. That's what I'm saying. This isn't a fail. This isn't like me just making up something. This is something that's already worked before, but we just kind of dropped it.
And it's also something that's failed, and it's also something that has failed already.
No, it didn't fail. It was kind of taken over.
What I'm trying,
that's what I'm saying. The industry is what killed that.
What I'm trying to tell
of
you, what I'm trying to get you to understand, is that nobody listens to college radio. Nobody listens to the radio.
No, yeah, it's more than that. I mean, and even when you was talking about what Diva brought up earlier, streaming is dying. Literally, like even the record labels have started investing more. It is direct to consumer is what's showing the biggest overall growth period for the last like 5 years. And direct to consumer just means because
you know
the thing we forget.
You know that they can both grow at the same time, correct?
Yeah, but no, the stream is literally dying. It's like going down. So I'm not gonna say it's dying, but it's going down. Physical sales of things, because that's the direct to consumer, like vinyls and things, they're growing on a constant level and have been for the last 10 years. Because you gotta understand, people got a big you know how they say like own nothing and be happy. People are starting to wake up to that, and then they realize like, okay, I want to have something kind of physical to say that like I own this. You can't, like, a streaming is something you don't own. You have to pay a subscription to keep doing it. So people are starting to come to the realization like, hey, if I could just pay $7 for this, and maybe it comes with more than an album, maybe it's even like an MP3 player, and this artist uploads stuff to there every time they release or something for a subscription, whatever. People are preferring to do that. And I'm just saying, like,
so we're pressing albums again.
Yeah, like vinyls are going like vinyl.
Okay, so then how do we press albums?
No, we don't. Well, like I said, it's just figuring out what that physical medium would be, right?
So basically, you just talking, Casey, like, right? Because now we got to figure out all this other stuff. I asked you a very direct, simple question, and you done turned it into, my God. Okay, all right.
No,
if that's what it is,
into the example of how it's already worked prior to the industry.
Hold on.
And saying like we can build on
that. I guess it's probably why a lot of people have a problem with just answering direct questions. They just want to keep everything vague. So when you mean
I've
that
answered
streaming,
directly as possible.
you have not answered directly. This idea that streaming is going down. What do you mean that streaming music went down?
Like streaming numbers in total, like people who are paying subscriptions and things of that nature. That will be how they count. Like who's staying into the stream.
Okay, so can I give some numbers that I just looked up because it's easy to find? This is from the RIAA. This is for 2024 in comparison to 2023. Paid subscriptions, ad-supported services, digital and customized radio, social media platforms, digital fitness apps, and blah, 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 grew 4% to a record high. They collectively accounted for 84% of total revenues for the third year in a row. Streaming accounts for 84% of U.S. recorded music revenues.
All right.
So when it comes to the DTC or the physical music, the DTC stuff that he was talking about, total physical revenues of were $2 billion, up 5% versus 2023. Vinyls grew 7% to 1.4 billion. 18th consecutive year of growth, so that's not new. Et cetera, et cetera. But just to be clear, streaming accounts for 84% of U.S. recorded music revenues.
And so what really happened is that it hit a ceiling.
Potentially. We don't know because you take 1 year and you're like, oh, it's going down, therefore it's dying. It's a stupid thing to even state.
Yeah.
And it's just
No.
But
I'm not. That's why I said I wanted to correct myself. I'm not going to say it's dying. I'm just saying that
you said the revenues from paid subscription services grew 5% to 11.7 billion in 2024, accounting for 79% of streaming revenues and nearly 2/3 of total revenue. So what you're saying just doesn't seem to be true. Right. And a lot of the stuff you're saying that we did in the 90s or in 2000s was people were doing it because there were no other options.
Right.
That's why streaming got big and cable died off or is dying. Something that's actually dying is because you had to pay $200 for a cable subscription plus internet when you can just pay $70 for internet now, or originally, and Netflix was the only game in town. You would pay $15 for Netflix and you have something that's comparable to what you would be doing on cable. So you're spending $85 versus the $200. Now things are starting to change where everybody has their own streaming platforms and you're starting to see more piracy come into play because people don't like the inconvenience. But as long as convenience is a factor, people almost always will choose convenience over inconvenience and expensive price. So what you're saying, 90s and 2000s, nobody's saying it didn't happen, but this isn't the world anymore. People want convenience. And the reason they were doing those things before was because the other convenient options weren't around.
Yeah, nobody said that. Well, I'm saying we have a basis of something that already existed and it already worked to get people in position, and we can like modernize that. As we do see it's a bigger increase. Like I said, that's what I did say earlier. I'm gonna apologize and say it's not dying. What I said was literally physical is showing a bigger increase, and it has been for a long time. That's my overall thing. I'm just saying that it's more people showing an increase. Yes, it is. You even just said it. You just
vinyl was 7%. Vinyl was 7%. You said for a very long time. It hasn't been for a very long time. Vinyl was 7%
for like the last decade. For the last decade, vinyl was 7% for the last like 10 years. It's been increasing.
Vinyl was 7%, 18th consecutive year of growth. So not the last decade, 18 years. That's almost 2 decades of growth for vinyl. Vinyl was 7%. Total physical revenues were 5%. Correct. The paid subscriptions grew 5%. What's 5%? What's 5% of $12 billion? It's probably a lot more than 5% of $2 billion. Correct. 5% of
sure.
Yeah. So
it's more money for sure.
It's actually more money than the entire $2 billion.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 5% of 5. So 5% growth is more than the entirety of physical sales.
Yeah. This goes back to also saying it's not about money. Sometimes you have to build the leverage to gain the money.
It's not about that. We're just talking about you. The numbers you're giving are incorrect.
That's all. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not understanding the things that you're saying. That's all.
Oh, so the physical numbers aren't increasing better than the streaming numbers.
No.
Even if because now your thing is saying because the industry is bigger, well, whatever. And again, I'm just pointing out how we don't need to take something because of the money. Because guess what? It's a lot of industry and money in streaming, but the artists aren't getting it. Now with direct to consumer.
Okay. All right. That's fair. So can you come up with a plan that we could that we can execute?
In terms
It
of
seems like you know enough about the music part. Can you come up with a strategy for it?
in terms of which part?
That you were talking about today.
I mean, I think just direct to consumer is the easiest answer. Like you would have to figure out your physical if you want to make your CDs, vinyls, MP3 players.
I gotta figure out how to sell it direct to consumer. Is your answer?
Yeah, for sure.
How do you do that?
Well, that's literally just having your music out. You make your music.
Okay. It's as simple as that. Everybody, how is everybody not making millions of dollars? Because all you got to do is just have your music out, and then
then you have to distribute.
There it is.
That's where the direct to consumer comes in. How you distribute.
KT, how much were CDs going for?
How you distribute music.
KT, how much were CDs going for in, let's say, like 2010 or something? Like
pre-streaming,
$15.
$15, like $15-$20.
How much is a Spotify or YouTube Music or one of these other subscriptions? How much money are one of those subscriptions?
Like $7.99.
$7.99, and you get access to one album, or do you get access to like a billion songs?
A plethora of music.
Yeah. And so what you're telling people to do, and what you think it would be effective in today's day and age, is to have people spend $15 for a 12 to 15 song CD instead of $8 for a platform that gives you access to those songs plus a billion others.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like people are going to do that. Hold on. Do you think people will do that?
Yes, I think a lot of people will choose.
If they were going to do that, then CDs never would have died. This is what I mean. You got to stop smoking.
This is what I'm talking about. The industry existed that literally said this is what's in our best interest, and for you, we're going to take the power. That's why it's no more Master P's. It's no more cash money, because streaming is something that the literal industries have their literal major investments in. We talking about 30-40% of Spotify. Bro, these companies own, that's in their best interest, and guess what? You get paid less as an artist. That's why it's not how it was back at the time. It's not because people said, "Oh, this is obsolete." It's because the industry said, for our best interest, we have to take that power out of their hand and place this in.
I'm going to ask you again. You think that someone would rather spend?
Wait, before we move forward, do you own a record player, KT to go?
No.
Do you own a CD player?
No. Yeah, I do own a CD player.
Do you use it?
Sometimes.
Okay. Which one do you use more?
My phone.
So the music on your phone?
Now, how are you going to sell it direct to? Do you think majority of people have record players?
No, I think we're in a database age. Like you can literally build a website and sell it. Like where you can get the files or however you would like it. It could just be on your computer and you can buy it and then you can download it to an MP3 player.
How much money do you think the average household would have to spend just to get the setup ready to be able to do what you're talking about?
$15?
$15 for a record player?
No, for a CD.
I know, but how they need a record
for an MP3 player. You can literally order an MP3 player.
Okay. Jesus. So I just want to make sure we're tracking correctly. You think consumers, again, would choose to spend, let's say they want to buy 10 albums. Let's say they have 10 artists they listen to across all music genres, and all of them are coming out with an album in 1 year. $15 is the cost of the album. That's $150 that year on the album.
This is crazy.
Or they could spend $7.99. They could spend $7.99 for a YouTube Music subscription, get access to all those albums plus all the other artists they would like to listen to, and that would be half the cost, or almost half the cost. And you're saying that you think that would be a smart thing for consumers to do that, and you think that's something they would do?
No, I think there's a consumer base that does that. And whether or not you want to say they're not making enough money as an industry or not, $2 billion isn't a small bit of money that those people are spending, right? And I think it'd be fair to say as an artist, hey, if you can get in there and get $1 million out of that, I guarantee you can make $1 million quicker out of that $2 billion industry than you could out of that $500 billion Spotify industry. That's all I'm saying. Why wouldn't you make the best choice? Now, when we're talking about consumers, listen, everything isn't for everybody. That's the problem with motherfuckers nowadays. Like we be trying to act like, oh, you gotta make everything. No, listen, you making something for a specific group. This is the main thing.
Wouldn't the issue more so be the splits?
Most people aren't going on Spotify and listening to 50 different things. They have a certain genre and type of music they listen to, bro.
That's not true. That's not true. So do you think that the issue is more so the splits then?
That's definitely a major.
Why would you want to go back to the?
How does this help the Black community? So what I'm hearing is this solving a problem for artists? Like, what does this do for black people at large?
I mean, that's an industry. That's an industry that we have a large footprint in. In terms
You
of,
don't have a big. Just you being the laborers don't mean you have a big footprint.
No,
if
you
that's
being
the
the
case,
rappers are the literal. No,
you're
you
the
being the black
laborers.
people.
You
It's a
don't
black
run
culture.
anything.
No, I'm
You
not
don't
saying.
run
I'm trying to say how
But
we do gain the running
you
something,
don't.
and then y'all keep saying, "Well, no, that's stupid." And
It is.
I'm talking
Because
about
it's
how
not,
we run something.
you're not
It
giving a
is.
solution for the 21st. You're not giving a solution for today's day and age. You're giving a solution for the 90s and 2000s.
I literally
That's
just
why,
said no.
that's
I
why
said that's
asked,
the basis, and I said it's
you're
a
living
day
in
to
you're
day
living
and
in fantasy
age.
land. You're living
We
in fantasy
literally
land.
so making
You're
websites
living,
are fantasy land to you.
yes, you're
Like,
living
is
in
that
fantasy.
hard? That's
Nobody's
wild,
going to
time
spend double
consuming.
for one CD that they could just buy.
No,
for
it's a
like
literal
$2.
industry you just talked
It's
about. That's worth $2 billion. That means people spending it.
So anyway, that's why I talk
So
about the
how,
split.
how doesn't this exist?
That's
How
why,
doesn't
It
this
is
CC, you're the
exist?
only
And
one in the chat and on panel that
the
thinks
most
that your solution is
concerning
a
thing
solution.
is it be the men, right? This the men thinking. When we put men,
No, this is
and these men
KT. This
who
is KT
told us
thinking.
they were supposed to have the more logical beings. And when we say, okay, let's figure out a problem that we can come up with a hypothetical,
But y'all
not
aren't
even solution,
coming up with no
right? And
solutions.
it's not. And then we go on a trip to damn. I don't even know where we just went.
No, I gave you ways to literally own your means of production.
me,
Y'all
if
want to sit here and act like
am-
we going to ignore the fact that I'm talking about how we gain the control of the asset.
Okay,
Like,
so
I know laboring
that's
doesn't
the
give
case,
you the power.
if that's the case, do you control your asset of music?
Yes.
And how much do you sell?
I don't sell a lot.
Yeah, we know.
Are you selling your music currently?
Not really, no.
Oh God.
So do you think you would sell more if you had partnered with someone that was doing distribution and promotion? So
Yeah,
you would
for
have
sure.
made. So you would make more money that way.
Not really. Doubt it. I've
Okay,
worked
well,
with
if
distribution
you
partners
were to
before.
give your revenue, how much money?
Like,
How
hold
would you?
on,
How much was your income off
hold on. Where are you selling your music at?
SoundCloud, and I ain't even gonna lie, I'm building a little site. Like that's
What
my
you mean
main thing.
SoundCloud? When you could buy it off of SoundCloud?
Yeah, you can buy mixtapes off SoundCloud.
I ain't say mixtapes. I said yours.
Yeah, that's my mixtape. Yeah, you can buy my mixtape on SoundCloud. Yeah.
And how much is it on SoundCloud?
$1
For how many songs?
12.
And what's your? Do you get 100% of that, or how much goes to SoundCloud?
90.
90% goes to SoundCloud.
No, it's a 90-10. Like they get 10, I get 90.
Okay.
So you
And
get
if you were
90
selling
you
it for
get
like
90
15, it would be
cents.
the same.
So you get 90 cents per 12 songs.
No, per like album sale. Or yeah, you're right. If I did, because I do got it broke down. Like if you want to buy each one, you could do the same for $1. Either or, neither nor. You know what I'm saying? It's your decision. But
shout out to my chat, the one, even though he says, fuck Sharon and everything, right? But guess who's showing you love and support?
I never.
Yes, you do. You said it.
It's
You
dictate
literally
and let
just
us
said
know
it.
if he's coherent.
You literally just said it not too long ago. I'm sorry, but Sharon, you ain't the ding, the ding, the ding, the ding, the ding. You just said it, and I think that's the funniest thing.
Yeah, nah, I ain't turning nothing down. All I'm saying is I'm giving some type of solution I can understand. Y'all may not agree with it. I'm saying like, and then I pointed this out a couple days ago. I'm offering some solution, y'all turning it down, and then y'all not even offering like another solution.
I was trying. That's why I was
even if
asking
y'all
you
say
if
my
she was just
ideal is
kidding.
bad,
All right,
I have
CC,
an
we've heard you
idea.
yap about the
Yes,
same
your
shit.
idea is bad to go
bad.
to
I'm trying to help you.
HBCUs, to go to college and go ahead and try to do shows and radio at college. Yes, that is a very bad idea. You'll have a better time to sell your music on my page than you would trying to sell it to HBCUs. But you know what? You go against Sharon and your own community that you say that you are a part of. It's weird that happened in real time.
So what I was trying to ask you.
Hold
Casey,
on
is
one
that-
second. Let me just read the super chat. AR. Go ahead.
Captain Caveman, Mike, 3,000, $10 super sticker. Thank you, sir. Detroit Coalition, $2. Please read my last chat. Trying to answer Diva. We could create a separate United Black Labor Union We are in every union, and the Black experts in those fields would lead any regulations dealing with the Black community. Sharon, what say you? You know about that. I don't know nothing about
We
no
don't
labor
have
unions.
a shot in hell. Those Italians and mobsters is not having it at all. No, we do not have a shot in that.
You could do it in the South, I think.
No.
We have to fight them. What you saying? What you mean?
Yeah, you have to fight them.
Yeah, we'll literally have to fight them. Yes. Literally.
We know how that go, Detroit, and you done already told us you don't want no parts of nothing about no fighting, boo.
Like literally when they do it in New York, like they would literally come to your job site and take your tools and throw it in the trash and throw it in the street. They would be yes, you literally have to fight them. That would not be just we're gonna make some regulation and we're gonna start doing. You won't be able to get into places like where you can really make money, like a mall. That's how you really make money as a construction worker. You go ahead because the mall's always evolving and changing. It's a new store every goddamn day, damn near. And you get good in with that, and now you regulating 10 malls in your area, you're gonna make some good money. You can make a couple of millions, making about 10 million a year. But since they hold the regulation to that, they corner the market. And I'm sorry, for us to get into that field, we will have to hurt some people. And that would be the only way to get into that situation. And then we're going to have to build up schools that is teaching our people how to do the actual job. So if we going to try to have some carpenters union, then we're going to have to teach them how to be carpenters, have a regulation on how to be a carpenter, and say that we have the best schools for carpenters. That's why you should hire our guys. And if you let anybody else in, we're going to come in here and find you and show our power. And if we have to, we will whoop some ass too. So it's a little bit more than just getting a group of people together. It's a lot more than that, to be honest. I've been fighting it for a long time, but, you know. Go ahead, Diva. Y'all, man. You got it, Diva?
That's why you will open the school. Right?
No, I tried all that shit already. I tried to even do it with this guy. They fight me tooth and nail. But what about this is what I'm saying, Sharon. You always, but this is what I'm saying, Sharon. You never, this is what I'm saying, Sharon. You got 98 people. You should be happy that you got a 97. Those other races ain't satisfied with just, we got this and be satisfied with that. Y'all always want me to belittle myself. Even though I'm the same person that would help them, they would come over here to belittle me. And then go run to all the other people that would say, hey, fuck you and all you bitches. That's the channel. They be like, yeah, this is the greatest channel. Look, he just said, fuck you bitches. I'm the bitch he talking about. He said, fuck me. Nah, this is the best show ever. Let me go to the place where they say, you niggas ain't shit all day. Except for me. I'm the only nigga that's some the shit. They say that straight to your face. I ain't gonna have me looking like y'all gave me enough gray hairs. Thank you so much, Corinne Mackey. Thank you so much for always showing me love. Thank you for everybody that always showing some love and respect to the channel and not just come here to disrespect me.
Hey, you're welcome, man. Even though I get bullied here, it's all good. KT,
only half of you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, only half a month. Half of me, half a month. KT, I just feel like, you know, your idea is kind of stupid, and so I'm trying to help you because I think like when you talk about things that worked in the 90s and 2000s, you're already almost always going to be at a losing position. And I think that when you talk about, I'm making 90% on SoundCloud, you have the foundations of maybe an idea there where you start a website like you said you were going to or whatever, and you work with the splits to make sure that artists are making money, because your issue isn't necessarily the technology being used, is the splits. You're saying that people are going, you know, these artists are going to CDs because they make more money because the streaming is not giving them the splits. that they want or the money that they want. So then wouldn't you just need to adjust the splits? That way you're getting the best of both worlds and you're not completely, segregating yourself from where the world has moved on to.
Yeah, no, I think the first misconstrued, thing that's getting misconstrued is I'm not sitting there saying, I'm saying like you have to have a basis for most ideas. I know some things are originally just fully created. However, to skip some of that, we could take some of the things that have worked. I'm pointing out something in the 90s is working because this was a period where if we being really frank, like you would have to build your interest before a label even took sight of you. What we got going on today is a label sees they may like you as a person and your cousin works in the label and you had one viral song. You've made 20 million songs. One of them went viral. Now they're giving you $1 million and this, that, and the 15th, right? So that's what's making the music at a lower rate, right? But the ideal works in terms of, like I said, plenty of times too, modernizing it. We do have digital platforms, and I'm not saying that we have to use those. I'm saying like they're there and showing you how it works, right? So you can make like I was saying, make me making a website. Yeah, I could charge everybody $1, $2 per album, $1 per song download. I mean, $1 per song ownership or whatever. You get the file, right? Or you could just download and stream snippets or whatever. And then at that same token, you could literally charge $7.99 for someone to have a lifetime file upload or something, maybe like something on the site itself that this music plays here forever. It's every single piece of music and work I've ever done, and since you paid me $7.99 per month or something, you now have rights to go through this full thing, right? Like it's not hard to say.
Anyhow, PZ, be there?
Yeah, what's going on?
You got any final words?
They done pissed you off again. Bye, y'all.
Nothing wrong with being.
Let me up.
Let me.